on. Hey, everything works. All right. Welcome back to ESP. Enchanting Sorcery Productions presents. Tonight is Stormwatch, which is our 5e X MCDM Kingdoms in Warfare, X Rise of the... No, wait, that's the name of the project. X Darkhold Secrets of the Zentarum, X Weirdworks LLC Adventurers Tarot Games. I do a lot of stuff. We integrate a lot of things. Oh, you're amazing, Nick. Thank you so much for always being awesome. You are the bestest. This is, yeah, it's Kingdoms in Warfare. I got the book somewhere over here. A little collaboration with MCDM. We are on the resource document from their server. You can check out the resource doc, and we're on there, all the way at the bottom of the page. So check out some of the MCDM stuff. This is an amazing book. You can still order the hardcover. Oh, my camera's over there. I don't know. And once we return from a brief practice off-stream break in March, going through the unit cards and all that fun stuff, essentially learning how to play TTRPG Risk. We'll be back with that to showcase y'all, and we'll be working a little bit closer with Matt in the server as well on that in the meantime. So shout out to all of our friends again. Nick, thank you so much for 18 months subscribing. You're amazing. Thank you for supporting us and all of us here on ESP, which also directly supports all of the other incredible cast members, not just in Stormwatch, but across all of our games, one-shots, and limited runs, and our administrators as well. And of course, a couple of tarot cards in the chat, but let's back up a little bit. Cold Drake, hello. We also have, what do we got here? Baba Yaga, great. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Have, shout out to Baba Yaga Creative. They are going to be doing our overlay for one of our newest games that we're going to be hosting in 4 weeks towards the end of February. TBD, the 3rd or 4th week of February. As soon as we can get all the Session 0 and logistics out of the way, we're going to be announcing the official launch of a new Thirsty Sword Lesbians limited run campaign, GM'd by Darcy Marie Hughes, aka Princess Teacup, over and all of our mutual servers. And I'm very excited to have Fair over for a game on ESP. And Baba Yaga is going to be doing the overlay and the cards for that, the Twitch cards. So check out their work. I think that they have some commissions open as well. Cold Drake, hello, hello. Okay, hydrate, of course, preemptive hydrate. So, which I need to. We already did that off screen, but I'm going to hydrate again. See, one tarot card. Things are working. Yeah, witchcraft. 2 tarot cards. 3 tarot cards. We're going to need all the tarot cards we can get. Jeff, thank you for linking MCDM there. They are super cool. They're also, their admin and moderation team is amazing. All good stuff. Very cool. So yeah, thank you everybody. Welcome in officially. It's a Monday night. Thank you for joining us on your Monday at the start of the week. We're going to go around the table and introduce our incredible cast members to all of you. Of course, just a quick announcement. I am very sad to announce what I did earlier on some of our other partner servers. I haven't actually announced it on the Blue Sky or the Twitter yet, but this is sadly for us going to be Dee's last session, and while it makes me very sad, we were discussing earlier, I'm heckin' excited for Dee as she's pursuing the final stretch of a master's program, which is freaking awesome. Dee, you can elaborate if you want, but let's actually do things in a little bit of reverse order. Dee, hello. Who are you on our last session out, and what you got going on? I know other than the stuff we just talked about, elaborate. You can. This is your moment. Talk about as much as you want, both now and after the stream. So, what you got going on, and where can everybody find you?
Hi, it's me. I'm Dee. As he kind of said, I am swamped with intern stuff, so that is why I kind of have to, I'm in the field of mental health, and as in the field of mental health, the person that you are going to for, upkeeping your mental health should probably also upkeep their mental health. So in order to maintain my sanity, I definitely need to lower some caseload stuff. So that is unfortunately why I've had to make the hard decision to step away. The specifics is I'm going for a master's in forensic psychology. So yes, all of the questions about psychology and therapy and all of the good stuff.
Which is awesome, and we definitely need more awesome people doing good work like that. So it's very exciting and also very prestigious. And as someone in the chat said, I said this earlier, we're going to have Dr. D. So we already have we have Dr. Heck, DVM, okay, and then of course now we have Dr. D, LPC. I think will be the initials officially at first. Okay.
LPC will be the official initial.
And then afterwards, if you do go for your doctorate the next step, that will be officially Dr. D. So very Dr. D with Dr. D MD perhaps later on. So TBD, stay tuned for that. But I know you said you went down from what, 4 to 1 game, which is like 4 is a lot. I know.
Yes. Can you tell I like D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had mentioned that I had been. I think when I first started out in my program, I was like, oh, I can definitely maintain like four games. It'll be fine. And no, I cannot. It's a lot to keep in my brain and also keep psych stuff in my brain.
Same is. I definitely hear you on that one. I had to move some things around myself because I know 4 or 5 games is a lot for everybody, especially if you're integrating home games and stream games and everything. But speaking of D and D&D, we'll be able to see D soon again this month as we go back to our origin story here, as D and I kind of helped get this channel started. So D, thank you again for really helping us at the very beginning and throughout takeoff with our ESP D&D segment. So that's going to be returning this month, and I'm very excited to just sit down with you for an hour on your time and talk about all the cool supplements that we have coming out for D&D specifically, because even though D&D has a lot of things that need fixing, and there's a lot of really cool people both on the third-party publishing side and of course at this table right here with us right now. So I'm very excited to be talking shop about just what's going on in the D&D world. We can also talk about the potential sales and mergers and everything and all the drama. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good show. Yeah, all the articles I've been reading about, like about 10 cent and everything is just bananas. So I'm sure we'll be talking about all the tea there. So stay tuned for that and the exact date there. But yeah, thank you D, and we'll do it again on the outro. But also happy to have back again we have, of course, from over at Rem Alternus, the incredible Isabits. Hello Isabits, welcome back again. I know I said that 3 times, but I am happy to have you back after a long hiatus. So how are you? Who are you? And what you got going on in Isabits world? I know a lot of Power Rangers and other cool stuff, but
so much Power Rangers. Hi, I'm doing good. I'm Elizabeth, or Isbits. I'm playing Terra tonight. Every other Wednesday over at Shadows of Nox, I am the Blue Ranger. Every Sunday, I started actually yesterday. Every Sunday, I will be running Call of Cthulhu. It is a story that I wrote for some friends of mine, and we had our sessions here last night, and they made characters, and it was a lot of fun. And we're starting next Sunday, where I can actually start to drive them crazy, and I'm very excited about it. And then the week of the February 13th, we are doing a marathon. We recorded a Buffy the Vampire Slayer actual play, and I'm going to be streaming that. It's Tuesday through Sunday, every night, 7 Central. It's going to be just a really, really good time. It's me.
Heck yeah. All right. And thank you, Isabeth. And Isabeth, I think we already talked about this, but I'm very excited to actually talk about it because it's something that really caught my eye. Have you seen the crossover book between Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and...
Yes.
Has anybody at this table seen that?
It is bananas.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks like a lot of fun. So that was something that definitely caught my eye, but stay tuned for that. And I know we've been talking a lot about stuff, so TBD. We shall see. So thank you, Isabeth. And then, of course, on the other sad news front, unfortunately, our friend Baba Babini over at After Dark Coffee Club is taking a hiatus of her own from social media and media in general. So this year's Anime Boston podcast, I am sad to see Baba Babini leave and take a break, but I am excited to be doing a collaboration with Ange. Perfect segue, y'all like that? From Animazing Radio, so who's also been at this table for a long time. So Ange, hello, that's some news right there. Who are you, and who do you play in our Stormwatch campaign, and what else you got going on?
What I got going on is, honestly, things have been a little quieter as my other table for live stream has been on hiatus as our chapter finished. But you could check. But that might be still up on Records of the Realms. But other than here every other Monday, it's mostly just Animazing Radio Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And beyond that, it's gearing up for conventions. We got PAX East and Anime Boston back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to working with you on the Anime Boston stuff.
Likewise. Which is actually how we met. Was it AB or was it AAC?
It was Anime Boston.
Okay.
Waiting for one of the press interviews that ended up getting rescheduled.
But that was J. Michael Tatum, right?
I don't remember, but I just remember waiting, and then we just started nerding out over D&D, and that was when the casting call for this campaign was going on.
I'm 90% sure it was J. Michael Tatum, because I remember like waiting, and we were like sitting on the floor, just like chatting, and with the staff, the AB staff. It was wonderful, by the way. They've always been so nice to us.
Agreed.
And it was an unfortunate situation because I was like, "Oh, there's J. Michael Tatum," and then the other staff was like, "Oh, the press panel was a half an hour ago." We were like, "Oh, I didn't get that. I didn't get that update." But yeah, so thank you, Ange, and more to come at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. And I need to shuffle these cards. But moving on to another really good friend of our channel, of course, 18-month subscriber, and another friend over from Ricarius' channel, and an upcoming ESP content creator. So stay tuned for that official announcement as well after the casting for our Dragon Age Murder Mystery concludes. But of course, the one and only Nick/Amberthus/Husky. Hello, friend. How are you? Who are you? And what you got going on? And who do you play in our Stormwatch campaign?
Hi, yeah, I play Clematis Scamperpaw, the Harengon, Barbarian Sorcerer, Wild Magic guy. That's why I'm playing in this campaign. Yeah, just here having a good time. The project that's coming up is going to be quite a bit of fun. I've been continually writing stuff for that, so that's awesome. Can I say what it is at all?
You know what? Let's go ahead and officially announce it on 2/5, because it's coming soon. So take it away.
Sure. Yeah. At some point in the future, I'm going to be hopefully running a Delver's Guide to Beast World campaign, which will be a lot of fun. Essentially, a lot of fun. Beast Folk adventures and customizable wagons, so we'll see if that's even going to work in a D&D or in a live stream setting, so I don't know, but just a lot of fun. There's the ears. A lot of fun stuff that comes out of this book. It's a full setting, tons of fun characters, and a really lovely world, so yeah, gonna try and do a mini campaign of that. But other than that, yeah, you can see me on Precarious' channel every now and again. Every Friday I'm in their Mist of Makani campaign, and I am also in their Alien RPG campaign every other Sunday. That is Chariot of the Gods is the story that we're doing in that one, so that one's been pretty great too. Already had my character die, so I'm playing a different character now, so that's great.
Alrighty, and yeah, I had these ears ready. They're fox ears. They're really tall. So I was like, ooh, just in case for that one time where we do talk about it on stream. I was like, ooh, I had these up here for a reason. So that's going to be very exciting. Stay tuned for the casting call on that officially. And thank you, Nick. We appreciate you. And of course, Last but certainly not least, we have the one and only Jeff/Fathagan for the kids on the TikTok. So, Jeff, hello. Thank you for being patient. And also one of our very active, keen-eyed server moderators, the Eye in the Sky, Twitch moderators, the Eye in the Sky and the Twitch chat as well. So, Jeff, hello. How are you? Who are you? And what you got going on before we dive into the game?
Good evening. Yeah, after all of that, I have comparatively little going on. Mostly I'm here in the Twitch chat doing some moderation duties while I'm playing this evening. I'm playing Simeon, the Battlemaster fighter, but not the way you think. My pronouns are he, him, as are Simeon's. And yeah, other than that, there's not much going on except for hanging out in the Discord. That's really all I'm up to these days. Have a couple of home games, but that's all that is.
Very cool. All right. I do like a good home game. Pixelated Bunny, lurk away. Hello, friend. Thank you. And of course, our VOD for our Yuletide one-shot, our Dresden Accelerated Yuletide one-shot, GM'd by one of our newer storytellers. Caitlin Kaylor was a smashing success. So thank you, everybody that came out to the show. And Pixelated Bunny, we're happy to have you here. Please lurk away, friend. Send you some hearts, at least. And some love that way. And Aqua, hello Aqua. That's the one game that D has left. Hopefully eventually I'll have enough free time to rejoin that home game as well. But shout out to Aqua. I think Aqua, you have your own channel as well. I'll give you a little shout out here as we kind of segue into the game. Aqua does some really cool stuff. Baldur's Gate 3, who doesn't love a good Baldur's Gate 3 stream? All my friends play it. That's the one stream that every time I see it pop up, I'm like, ooh. I know we're all in the TTRPG world, and I try to throw open the tabs, but I cannot resist the allure of Baldur's Gate 3. I was like, I gotta see those tabs. I have to see those tabs and dirges.
If I remember correctly, they just started, so
Ooh, okay, yeah. And I know Panda tags, so I will be, unless I'm running a show, tag me or remind me, be like, hey, we got Aqua thing going on. I'll look out for Panda's pings. So, all right, thank you for stopping by, Aqua. I know it is definitely a rabbit hole to fall into, especially the fan art. That's like a whole nother world. But I digress. In any case, who wants to give us a little recap as to what happened last time on Rise of the Zhentarim Stormwatch? Up until basically the Shadowdale arc, up until the top of the tower for either DM Inspiration, a luck point, or 25 gold you can just plop into your inventory.
I have to pull up my character sheet real quick. Yeah, so basically what we've been up to is really all we did was finish the battle with the guys at the top of the tower, or what we thought was the top of the tower, and then go up to the tippity top of the tower to discover that we were wrong, and we had not in fact beaten the big bad, and there's a bigger, even badder bad up there waiting for us. We finally got to meet Malkath the Vile, and he had imprisoned our friends, the Matrons of House Dhuurniv. No, let me make sure I've got the right house involved here. And has them trapped. And while the rest of the party was trying to figure out what are we supposed to do about this, he walked in and started monologuing. And so Simeon snuck up behind him and tried to monologue back, but that's when we broke.
And that's exactly where we are going to start. But in the meantime, I just want to show y'all, shout out here to William the Grape over on
I'm sorry,
Reddit. William the Grape.
The Grape? Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I didn't mishear that.
Yeah. Like the fruit. That's the creator of the map that was posted on Reddit for a DM's Guild project I could not locate. So William, I did send you a message on the Reddits. If you have a product, let me know, and we'll you can either send us an invoice or we'll purchase it ASAP. Just let me know what it is and get back to me on Reddit, my friend, because this is good work, and I want to make sure it's attributed correctly and all the licenses are purchased. But otherwise, we found on Reddit as a TBD. Please check this out. So, William, let me know if you got a product, and we'll collab. But otherwise, it was posted on Reddit, and I really enjoy this. Looks like Incarnate, so very cool. But this is based on the actual WotC map. It's just it's an Incarnate overlay over that. So let us know, William, if you get this. I sent you a message on Reddit. Open up your slid into your DMs there. All right, so that is where we left off. Speaking of that, we're going to switch back over to the tower for those that are already in the game, right? And let me switch up the tracks here briefly. Okay. Oop. Okay. So as Malkath the Vile finishes his monologue, draws his blade, and beckons you to come out, Simeon, how do you intercede?
That's the problem. I was thinking about this and I forgot what he was talking about earlier because it's been a month. But
The gist was come out, rats of the
that's right.
yes, rats
I
of House Dhuurniv. Go ahead.
I did want to bring up too, as a reminder, we did have that puzzle thing as well in terms of having to offer up
Mm-hmm.
some aspects of, like, I think a soul. Forgot exactly what they were, but they were all tied to the three sisters essentially in terms of.
It was 3 matrons, 3 sources of magic. It is possible to spread out the sacrifices that people make. But sorry, my notes got all confuzzled there for a second. The sources of magic were blood, shadow, and soul.
That's what it was, yeah.
And the tome that Abigail had picked up had discussed that there are certain ways to Frozen Night good evening. Yes, and also Baba Yaga, thank you for putting that in the chat so he could see it written out. The tome that Abigail had picked up on the table here, the Grimoire, just had some basic arcane notes on the basic functioning of the Shadow Tower and the broad strokes of what it means. It takes a specific talent to be able to channel and attune to it. A la Malkath has been working on these past several decades and has finally seemed to attune to it. As you can see, sort of bits of lightning sort of sparking off his form. I'm actually going to go ahead and add a radius here for his shield. Make it go. Yeah, so like little bits of electricity and potential just sparking off of this shield that is surrounding him. And as you can see, the source of the magic seems to be sparking off of the bodies and the orbs specifically, using the bodies as a conduit of the 3 sisters. The orbs themselves being 3 different colors, and the matrons kind of suspended in mid-air, sort of hands kind of to the side like this, very sort of like an anime sort of soul binding magic trope, but just kind of suspended in the air, sort of restrained magically by this magic, their own magic turned against them by Malkath, who has had decades to attune and bend the tower to his will. There is also a central conduit here that seems to be sort of acting as a tether as well to Malkath. Everywhere he goes, though the energy is sparking into him, this sort of central umbral gem is also gathering power from these 4 smaller sort of shadow opals as well, sort of azure shadow opals. There's like sort of blue and purple and black kind of swirling within each one, almost like the depths of space itself, swirling in and around these smaller gems. And it's most clear in the center where you can actually see constellations, familiar constellations, starscapes, sort of the tendrils of your galaxy as well, almost like looking into the cosmos on the center of this orb. It's hauntingly beautiful were it not for the situation you find yourselves in with a seemingly invulnerable foe.
Okay.
Right. So, oh, go ahead.
Nope. I'm just I'm a dumb bunny just trying to figure out how we're doing this.
So,
Well, if I oh no, go ahead, because this was
Malkath is monologuing at Clem.
Mhm.
Simeon is going to slowly draw his sword, um, and once he starts, once it looks like Malkath is done, he's just gonna clear his throat and go, Did you think all that up yourself? You must be a poet. You should write some of that stuff down.
He just kind of slowly turns to see Simeon. Oh, I will. And I'll make sure that when the books and songs of our glorious victory are written here, that each and every one of you will be erased from the fabric of history itself. No mention of the Stormwatch. No mention of your valiant stand. Only that you never existed in the first place. It's no more than you deserve, after all. Rats of the Matrons scurrying about in the shadows. But please, the longer I hold control of the Shadow Tower, and the longer you speak, the more danger your own forces are in. So please, entertain me. Got all night.
Seems kind of lazy. Just to write all your enemies out of history. Makes it seem like you work for nothing.
Oh, there will be, of course, a brief mention of the Vile that scampered and scurried out from the gutters through the shadows of this glorious tower and attempted to thwart the valiant defense that Malkath the Redeemed had put up at the tower. But at the end of the day, it is Malkath the Redeemed who will claim victory. So talk and flap your gums and jaws away into the wee hours of the morning for all I care. I am very much looking forward to repelling and smelling the burnt flesh of your comrades as I activate this tower's energy source. The power is mine to wield, and wield it I shall. Also, 4 tarot cards in the queue. I have them in front of me. We're getting them. But that's probably going to be something we want to use in combat, so.
While he's flapping his own gums, remind Simeon, do the matrons themselves have a connection individually, each to the sort of the blood, the soul, and the shadow? Like, is one of them much more into the blood magic than others, whereas others are more into the shadow magic sort of thing, to sort of give a hook there?
It's actually pretty telling. These, from what, Abigail, from what you were reading, the magic of the Shadow Tower is fairly flexible, but from what all of you know, Matron Roi Dhuurniv is obsessed with vengeance. She has plans and ambitions to follow the army, to follow the Centellar and the Stormwatch throughout the Moonsea, until every last Red Plume has been vanquished or dealt with. Her vengeance runs deep, and so does her need for blood. High Matron Roi is the very beating soul of House Dhuurniv. She is its essence, its High Matron, and she embodies the heart and soul of the fighting spirit of the Dhuurniv people, who fought for several decades in the woods and caverns just outside of their ancestral home after it was taken just under 100 years prior by individual elements of the Moonsea and the Dale lands, eventually the Red Plumes claiming possession of it as an extended territory several decades ago. But since their expulsion at the end of the 14th century DR, they have been waiting and surviving, waiting for this moment, which is now hanging on the edge of a knife. And of course, Matron Grayana is the Umbral Huntress, the Gloomstalker. She embodies shadow itself. Her weapons are charged and enhanced with the power of sheer shadow magic. The very essence of umbral force seems to coalesce around her. She is a master of shadows, and it bends to her will.
I think while does Malkath, is he looking at Simeon when Simeon was talking?
He's kind of like looking casually back and forth between the two of y'all and kind of down into the hallway where that's the main way up. So I think he's kind of assuming there's more of you down there, but he's mostly focused on Simeon.
I was gonna have Merlin try to slink away and see if I can get Merlin to help or maybe do anything.
Sure, of course.
While I'm talking and maybe distracting him.
Okay, yeah. Let me know what you want Merlin to do, and Merlin can have at it. Kind of slinks down, kind of around your, down your side, down your leg, and kind of, you see a little. Is Merlin a ferret or a weasel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes to both.
Yes to both. Okay. I'm just gonna put like little sort of slinky, right? Got the slinky going on in the
Yep.
danger noodle. Okay. And where would you like Merlin to go? What would you like Merlin to do?
I think I would like for him to, for now, just try to hide behind the pillar. Yeah, hide behind the pillar so that he's at least out of sight, so that Malkath doesn't know that he's there.
Okay. Sure thing. Merlin is now hiding behind the pillar.
Knowing. You know what? Famous is going to throw up the boon from Rin, and Famous is gonna throw up Spirit Guardians, basically saying that designating the party as being unaffected.
Okay.
While everybody's at the standoff stage, might as well give the party some added protection.
Okay, so that is an offensive spell. So if you spark that up, you will reveal your general location.
Well, I sort of figured I was going to be the distraction anyway.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
That was sort of my plan, to let the sneaky folks do the sneaky folk thing, and Famous, who really can't, is perfectly fine taking the hit.
Okay. So you hear that sort of sound of sort of like a hammer banging on an anvil, and sort of the shouts of your comrades sort of echoing through the tower as you can see the spirits of the winter wolves just kind of assembling around you. And you hear, there it is. That must be our paladin. How far you have fallen, Winter Wolf. How far you have strayed from the north. To think you've fallen to the depths of the Zentarum. How does it feel to wrestle in the gutter, little lion?
Yes. Far from home indeed. Far from home indeed. But I'd hardly call that fallen.
Do you know of whom you serve? Do you know the deeper intentions, the plans and the machinations, the sabotage that your comrades have claimed? Do you know what the Zentarum will do to achieve ultimate victory? No, I believe it is Malkath the Redeemed and the Red Plumes and the better side of history that will show that we, the righteous, took a stand against evil here at Shadowdale.
The redeemed, you say?
Tell me, and this morsel is free, little lion. Ask about Operation Shattershield.
I don't need to ask because you're gonna tell us anyway.
No, I'm going to let that one fester.
Yeah.
And Operation Downfall. If you seek the truth, you will seek answers to those classified operations. If you have what it takes to question your perception of reality.
While he's yammering on at Themis, Simeon is going to sort of step sideways over in front of Zelray and see if she has any adamantine on her.
Zelray, I could say with confidence on this one, Zelray does not have any adamantine. Knowing what you're looking for, it's I think it's fairly clear. You do not find any adamantine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Question.
Possibly answer.
This is a dumb idea, but how far is he from me?
Let's see.
If I peek my little horned head over the wall and I look at him, how far is he from me?
Let's see. I would say, let's get out a little drink.
It looks like about 40.
Yeah, it would be. So with that, D&D, I think the phrase is non-Euclidean, so it's sort of like whatever distance is close to. Yeah, about 25, 30 feet or so.
I put myself there so I can actually see where the hell he is if I'm peeking my head over. Yeah, I'm casting a spell.
Okay, all right. I was wondering when people were gonna get sick of this guy.
It's not. It'll be wonderful if it fucking works, but I'm terrified to see what happens if it doesn't.
Okay, this is your moment.
As I'm casting the spell, I need him to make me a wisdom save.
Okay.
It is not a charm effect. I will preface that.
And on that note, this is important. How far is everybody in the party from me? Because I have stuff to key off of that, to key off of anybody else being the target.
What's now I have to look something else up, but before you do, I might have you make an Arcana check. So remember that the tower is generating an effect right now. I have to see. Let's take a peek here. All right. What level is that spell?
It's normally a 2.
Okay. Go ahead and as you kind of look over and get a better look at the shield, can you make me a DC 15 Arcana check?
Sure.
You can, because you can see the lightning sort of sparking off of him and sort of this aura that seems to be surrounding him.
Give me like 2 seconds. Let me grab the right dice.
Okay. You do kind of, as a sorcerer, you feel that sort of magic potential. Kind of, you bring it to the surface of your fingertips, but then you get a better look at the shield, and you just kind of keep it there in limbo just for a moment, and you kind of try to discern exactly what is happening. So go ahead and make a check, see if you can.
Okay, is it just a check at normal?
DC 15 Arcana. Let me see if they're. Oh, actually, I've got some of these tarot cards might actually. Hopefully. Go ahead and make the check first, because we'll see.
Sure.
goes there.
Can Tara move up
Uh,
next to her?
Absolutely. So she's kind of like peeking. So these walls here are about 15 feet up. So she's kind of like kind of just flew up there, but you can kind of, you're amongst, you can climb up to the top of the wall without too much of an issue.
Okay.
So
that is a natural 16 plus 4 for Arcana for a dirty 20.
okay. This spell that sort of surrounds him, you're like, oh shit. You have a moment where you kind of get the idea and things kind of click into place.
Mm-hmm.
Especially thinking back on the book. A sacrifice of some kind may be needed to disrupt the ritual and free the Dhuurniv sisters, the matrons, one by one. If all three of them are released, releasing just one of them might actually weaken the magic that he has and allow for some things to slip through. But this is a modified globe of invulnerability that is drawing upon the power of the matrons. There is also a second source. It is the central globe itself as well. That's the heart of the Shadow Tower, which might be something that you want to keep intact if you want to use it against the Red Plumes or as a defense. You know that this is like sort of sacred to the matrons, but the smaller sort of umbral gems are batteries, essentially, from what you read, and those can be temporarily disabled, whereas destroying all 4 of those would sort of short circuit the charge in the center, but it would take an action to do so. But right now he has a, as described, as written, globe of invulnerability powered by the shield.
Which, I mean, I don't know offhand all of the details of global invulnerability, but I'm assuming he's immune to damage. Generally, I'm guessing. Just immune to magic damage.
So I'm gonna go ahead and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cash in the developer card that was pulled. This one is the 3rd card. Let me go back up to the top here. 1, 2. This one is from Coldrake. This is the developer. I'll show that off here. The developer tarot card. That is going to grant you some meta insider knowledge as to sort of either a relevant feature or some relevant mechanic. So I'm going to put that in, and then we're going to shuffle this up, but I'll go ahead and just I'll read it for everyone here. And I'll say that you're able to communicate one way or another to everyone in the party, that all of you would also have the knowledge now that this is a globe of invulnerability. It is, if you weaken certain elements of it, it's possible that lower level spells can get through, because it's sort of a modified globe of invulnerability. So the more you disrupt it, the more your spells will be able to get through. So there are sort of 4 sources, right? There's 3 matrons and the Umbral Eye. So if you disrupt all 4, it basically negates the 5th level or lower text in globe of invulnerability. So any spell would be able to get through if you disrupt all 4 sources. Any spell of 5th level, words are hard sometimes. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier cannot affect creatures within it, even if the spell is cast using a higher level spell slot. Such a spell can target creatures and objects within the barrier, but the spell has no effect on them. Similarly, the area within the barrier is excluded from the areas affected by such spells. So you can hit him
Oh, I wasn't
with
intending
physical
to hit-
objects, but
It's surrounding him in a globe, yes?
yes. So what this is saying is you can actually run in and cast from within the globe, but you have to be in melee range with him.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Fix the globe.
Yeah.
And It's very likely that he might have legendary resistances or legendary actions. Be very careful. And that I'm gonna give to you with the. This is a legendary. It's a legendary creature. With the designer, I'm gonna say, from everything that you've heard, this is the other card. This one was, so we got the one from Coldrake. I believe this is the card from Ange. Okay, cool. So some more meta knowledge here as you're kind of deciding what to do. You can affect him inside.
Mhm.
He is a legendary creature. So he is going to have, this is the designer, he's going to have legendary resistances, legendary actions, and you can tell that some of the magic he is wielding, some of the magic that he has manipulated is necromancy. So he has harnessed both the ability to fight hand to hand, but his real power comes from necromancy. All the magic here just reeks with necromancy. And with a little meta knowledge, I am going to say, remember that a sacrifice of some kind is what's required to present at these altars. And I would say those two cards being meta knowledge, with the other card here, the familiar, I would say not only is Junior willing to aid you, but may be worth considering
Oh,
that
I was
Junior
already
may.
looking at the boy. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna lie. I love him to death, but I was already looking at him.
As depressing as it is, you kind of get the sense Junior kind of understands through the rapport spores that you all sort of mutually consented to with Junior. He is willing to help out in any way he can. However, I do have one additional card in the queue that I can use. All of y'all do also have a Wild Oracle to use as well. Remember, I believe you have at least one Wild Oracle card to use, which is advantage on any d20 that you choose. And you also have the power pool. Don't forget about the power
I was
pool.
gonna say, what do we have in the power pool right now?
Good lord, I don't remember.
I think we've got 3 left.
Oh, yeah, you can just come over and get it. Sorry, my partner asked if she could grab something, so I don't know what it is, but I'll let her go grab it.
What do we have in the power pool?
I'm glad you asked, because I was just talking about this the other day for people who were talking about the stream. Let's go ahead and tab over to our party sheet. Hillsfar Alliance, Stormwatch, Power Pool. Okay. All right. Thank you for head pats. Oh, what a great partner. We have a 12. Isabet's rolled a 12 for Terra. We still have Rin's from Avalon, which was 11. And we also have another 11 from Dahlia. Via Allura. The other 3 power die have been removed from the hot tub. And of course, if y'all want to take another look at the party sheet while you're here. Oh yeah, and for everybody watching, this is the MCDM Kingdoms in Warfare party sheet. So if you pick up either the PDF copy or the hardcover, you'll find these in the book. You can also, if you bought the hardcover copy, you'll have a PDF copy as well. And you can print these out, hand them to your table, etc., etc.
And so forth, and so on.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Well, I think Simeon's getting ready to throw a dagger.
Yeah, Clem's looking at his hand axes.
Are we getting this
And
party started?
I
I
think we're getting
think
the party
so.
started.
Everybody, character sheet. If you all stay within one, just as a heads up, if you all for purposes of saving throws, anyone within 10 feet of me gets a +3 bonus. And I have all sorts of reactions that key off of if anyone else takes damage and y'all are within certain distance of me, I can mitigate that somewhat.
Well, speaking of power pool abilities, yeah, Simeon is going to light this candle by throwing a dagger at.
Okay.
Actually, he's not going to throw a dagger. He's going to pull the dagger, and he is going to try and dump his second wind worth of hit points into the altar that Griana is... Not Griana. Zolrag is currently sitting in.
And what exactly are you doing? Say it one more time. You're throwing a dagger.
I'm going to be dumping... No. I'm going to use that dagger to cause myself to expend a D10 plus my wizard level, fighter level of hit points to bleed into Zolrag's whatchamahoosit.
Okay. All right. So you take your dagger. You run it across the palm of your hand. Go ahead and take a D10. You said plus fighter level?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take a D10 plus fighter level of damage as you just slice open your palm and start to bleed your blood onto the altar. As you do and squeeze, you just kind of feel a bit dizzy. Go ahead and roll that damage. See how much damage that is.
Total of 8.
Okay. All right. So
I don't know
8
why I
points
rolled
of
a junior.
damage. You can see that the lights in the Shadow Tower flicker briefly, and Malkath just kind of turns to you and unsheathes the blade, points it directly at you, and says, "It's time." And I would like everyone to roll initiative, please. Everyone, roll in it. Oh boy, he rolled a 3. I'm gonna go ahead and cash in my adversary card here, which was the last one pulled by Frozen Knight.
Oh, but he's so confident.
That's a sort of a villain wild, a villain point essentially. For those of you that watch
That's
Less
fine.
Caravan, they have villain points. I'm gonna have him re-roll initiative. So that's gonna be, could have been worse than other things. So that's 18. Much better. Okay.
Could you add a +2 to my initiative?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. All right. 15.14.
Thank yous.
Of course.
My freaking 3.
Gonna be a little higher though. Perfect. I need Junior, Thamus, Abigail, and Tara. Would you kindly, as he just kind of spins the blade around, points up and over the wall, you see this green sort of sickly cloud with sort of the souls of screaming entities within start to form in this sort of lightning storm of poison and death. You can see the figures forming within as wind starts to howl inside. You can hear the sound of storms coming from this massive cloud that is summoned on the opposite side of the chamber, and this thick green fog consumes that corner of the room, and I will need, it is heavily obscured, the 4 of y'all to make a DC 15 con save, please.
You have
Don't
got
forget your
Anything?
bonus, Themis.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's.
Is that with the bonus?
I rolled garbage, so I think so.
Well, you have your aura. Does that include you as well, Themis? Your
Yeah.
paladin aura. Okay, so I see you have a +7. Your con modifier. Are you proficient in con saves?
No.
Boy.
You'd think
know.
with an 8, granted, that's
Yeah.
fine. I can take care of myself.
My
If everybody else passed, that's what matters.
my question
Well-
is, is your D&D Beyond factoring in your aura?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, poo.
Yes, because my
Yeah.
my lowest saves are at 4s. So
Hmm.
yes, I know it is factoring that in. My con bonus is a +4 naturally without.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm aware I failed by 1.
All right, so let's get con saves then from Junior, Tara, and Abigail.
I got a 23.
16. Okay, 16 for Abigail, 4 for Junior, and you said 23?
Sorry, I can't math for Junior. I forgot to factor in the aura, but
That's
it doesn't
okay.
really matter because it's still a fail.
Junior does need to. Oh, is Junior immune? Immune. Is Junior
Immune?
immune to poison damage?
I don't believe so. I think he's just a regular old boy.
Unfortunate. Okay, so for Junior and for Themis, y'all are going to take 25 points of poison damage from Cloud Kill. And for Terra.
You know what? Since I can,
Okay.
I'm tempted to. Do I wanna basically sacrifice myself for this?
Oh, just realized I'm really zoomed out on this map here. You have to zoom in here for the people. we go.
Let's see.
Sorry about that, everybody. Here we go. Zoomed in map.
'Cause
Just
I
yell at
have
me
a
on stream.
lot- I have a lot of reactions here.
And also, by the way, that was all the tarot cards in the queue cleared. Thank you, everybody, for pulling them. Definitely some helpful knowledge for everyone to have.
How much damage did Tara take?
Okay, so that is going to be... I can math, I promise. Hold on.
Well, you said it was
12?
what, 20, 25
Yeah,
for
12.
25 for a fail, so half of that, 12.
Yep. So, Abigail,
Mhm.
Terra, 12 points of poison damage. And that is a big spell, and he seems to be sort of channeling sort of through. You can see that magic sort of wrap around his arm, coming out from within him, and then the screaming cloud just descending from the. It seems like he's using the blade as a focus, but he does have inherent magical ability on him as well, as this sort of screaming cloud descends on the far side of the room. I think that is all damage dispersed. Oh, I'm actually gonna grab. I'll do your roll 20
Same.
token, Themis. Unless you're doing something to change that.
I can't change it for myself, but I'm debating whether or not I want to use stuff to take other people's damage on top of my own.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking, because I can basically heal enough of it on my turn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mind you, this is the top of the turn order.
Yep. So
We
I
also
think I'm
just started, and
so
we
I'm
don't
gonna
know what
wait.
else we could do. I
Ju-
just don't want you to like take a whole bunch of damage. Is all I'm saying.
Well, Famous' plan was to make sure nobody else died. If she
Well-
died in the process, I'm okay with that. That being said, we're gonna wait and hold off and just wait and see what else happens.
Okay. All right. So you can hear Abigail and Terra and Themis start coughing and sort of retching almost as this kind of gets into your pores and lungs, and you can even see sort of the faces in the clouds. It's quite terrifying. But that is going to be it as he kind of just swings the blade, and that last bit of necromantic energy just dissipates from his arm and kind of turns towards Simeon and Clem and just, how about you? And that's going to go over to Simeon.
Simeon is going to put his hand in his pocket and grab tight hold of the hand.
Oh, whoa, okay.
And see if he can see anything. But otherwise, he is going to take the dodge action.
Okay. All right, so that was, I give everyone usually one sort of pre-combat action, so that was your action to slice your hand open and kind of drip some blood there on the altar of the sacrificial altar of blood. The hand would be a free object interact, so you can grasp that with intent. What is your intention?
I would like to eat the cloud kill because it's made of necromancy.
Okay, all right. So you haven't actually attuned to the hand yet, right?
I have not.
Okay, all right. So you're trying to dissipate the cloud kill. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Or otherwise awaken the hand to see if there's anything else I can do.
Okay. Can you make a DC 18 persuasion check?
I can try.
We'll call this part of the free object interact. We'll call this the DC 18 persuasion check. Do you
How about
have
an 18?
advantage?
I use my luck table.
Fair enough. All right. And I know, remember, this is the time where you want to use your luck points. Okay, this is going to be interesting. That is just an 18. Hold on.
Just an 18.
I was not very persuasive, but you know.
Persuasive enough.
What is your attack modifier? Is it strength or dex?
My attack modifier is Dex.
Okay.
Because I mostly use versatile weapons,
Right.
and I have a Dex bonus, and I don't have a Strength bonus. Well, not enough of one.
Okay. You do not dissipate the cloud kill. However, you feel this sense of power wash over you as you kind of grasp at the hand with intent. That was all part of your free object interact, and as you do, you feel this sense of cold, steely emptiness, like the feeling of a blade pressing against bare skin, and you almost feel that sense sort of turning to frostbite. And Clem, you watch as you can see Simeon kind of grasping for something in his satchel, and as he does, his eyes almost turn dark, like this terrifying shade of dark that gives you pause for concern. But you can also see Simeon's blades are now coated in this sort of thick layer of glowing permafrost. And you have this awareness, this urge to sacrifice, to kill, to devour the essence of this perfect sacrifice. Your blades are now pulsing with frost as you sort of channel this. The cloud kill remains. You're initially frustrated, but there is something that is trying to reach out to you now, that has connected with you. You can feel your heart skip a beat and sink, and your skin kind of starts to crawl from the inside, but it's a powerful feeling. You still have action, bonus action.
In that case, I won't take the dodge action. I will close.
Okay. Close distance and attack, do you mean? Okay.
Yep.
You charge forward with all the intent to destroy, eradicate. Moving
And
through
with
the barrier without issue. It's you get the sense it's more sort of a spell barrier.
And with the party's permission, I would like to activate the Skirmisher domain action, which allows me to
Okay.
consume a power die. And it allows me to gain bonus damage equal to the value of the power die
Okay.
on a
Sure.
physical attack.
All right.
I'll take an 11.
Okay.
No opposition from me.
Yeah, kick this guy's ass.
Yeah, do it.
In that case, I attack.
Okay. Show me an attack. With your glowing blades now. Ooh. That.
Just an 18.
Well, that will hit. His
Good.
AC
Glad to
should
hear
be- He's got sort of half plate, but it should be. Yeah. It's beyond. It should be 18, but that will match. Okay, so you find just the perfect gap in the armor. You run through with murderous intent, pushing through the shield, and your blades. Yeah, you find just sort of the perfect gap in the armor. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, and then also plus the.
Plus 11. So
Okay.
22. Or sorry, 21.
21. Okay, and then go ahead and roll 2d8 for me as well.
Nine more.
Okay.
Total of
All right.
30.
30. Okay. You just kind of run forward, and that sort of frost blade, you can see him kind of look down in confusion, and just as you kind of take the blade and run him through the side with it, and goes right in between the sort of the gap in his arm as he just and kind of looks up at you and kind of just grins for a moment.
Well, I'm grinning right back.
It's gonna
Because I'm doing it again.
Okay.
I don't know why I did a plus 20 to that attack. That should not be there.
Okay, fair enough.
Only an 11 on that one, so drat. Don't forget to confirm that.
All right. You kind of try to grab the blade and kind of thrust out, but as you do, he kind of just pushes you off with his elbow, and you kind of both stumble and reset. You can see the frost almost kind of sealing the wound, and your blade now, you're aware, is kind of coated in frost.
Alrighty. Well, that's it for me.
Okay. End of your turn. Going to use a legendary action to cast a spell. He's going to just reach out and grab you by the throat. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
That does not hit.
Whoa. Ah! All right. Okay.
My shield is apparently shieldy enough. I can sort of just block with it just a little bit.
Ooh. Oh no. I really needed him to not miss there. Okay. All right. That would be Simeon and legendary action. That would bring us to Tara. Tries to just kind of puts a hand out, and you're able to just kind of
moment.
yeah.
Was that a melee
was-
attack?
That was a melee spell attack.
Does that
Well,
count
that
as
was-
an attack for the purposes of repost?
It does.
Yeah.
I would like to hit
Okay.
it again, please.
You got it.
Beautiful.
Only a 15.
Okay, it kind of just it kind of hits off of the that sort of half plate armor that he has. It kind of you just hear that. All right, as he just kind of shrugs off. But is that it for Simeon?
Now I'm done.
Okay, Tara.
Okay, so there's a pillar in my way and I can't really see. Is Simeon and the guy over here behind it, like right behind? Okay. Ah.
You're a monk. You're fast
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, go do.
Just making
go
sure. I
do
didn't want to go too far. I'm gonna run over behind the guy, and
Okay.
I would like to just punch the hell out of him.
You got it.
All right. So the first one is 24.
24 will hit.
Okay. Oh wait, that is no, that's right. Okay, I picked up my d6 and looked at it and said, wait, that's not a d6. Oh wait, yes it is.
Okay.
That is an 8 for damage for that one.
Okay, so you're just gonna run in and do a flying haymaker and just crack right across the side of the head. You hear your hardened stone knuckles hitting against flesh for 8 damage. Okay.
I'm going to. I only have 3 key points. I'm gonna spend it. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a key point. I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Okay.
Don't want shit.
23.
23 will
Yeah.
hit.
Oh fuck yeah. That's 9 damage.
Okay.
And then the next one is 22 to hit,
That would hit.
and then 7 damage.
Okay. 7 damage.
I think that's it for me.
Okay. So you run in and you just kind of another flurry of fists as you, and you can see him more blood trickling down his mouth, and he just starts to laugh as you are kind of punching him, and he just kind of looks up and says, "You really think you can defeat me?"
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for Tara.
Yep, that's it for Tara.
Okay, all right. End of your turn. He is going to swing around and attempt to slash at Simeon with the two-handed longsword, the moon-touched blade, as it begins to glow. The runes kind of glowing with this sort of greenish, corrupted-looking glow on it. For a 22 to hit against Simeon.
Oh, that does hit.
Okay, that's going to be... that should actually be... Actually, yeah, that's radiant. It's going to be 15 damage total, so that's 13 slashing and 2 radiant damage. 2 out of 3 legendary actions used. It just spins around, and you can feel the sort of the searing pain as the blade cuts through flesh. 15 damage total. Oops.
Question.
Yes.
Is he within 30 feet of me? Or let me check that.
No, I am not in 30 feet of you.
Yeah.
35 feet.
35. God damn it.
Sorry, I'm too far
Sorry.
away.
Ah. Say Livy. All right.
Okay. All right, Clem. Back around to Clem.
Do you said we get a free action?
Free. You have your
Beforehand.
Well, that was at the start of any battle, right?
At the start,
yeah.
okay.
So the person who initiates the battle, I personally don't like it when someone says, "I'm gonna throw a dagger," and the DM says, "Roll initiative." I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I usually just kind of wait for whoever acts first, and I'm like, go ahead. You know, because there's always a
Okay.
chance that whoever it is can parry or
Yeah,
counter
exactly.
spell or something.
fine.
But then you do also, but everybody gets free object interact. So like Simeon kind of grasping the hand, that was.
No, that's fine. I want to take out my hand axe, and I'm going to reach out and kind of bonk the.
Reach out and bonk me.
I'm gonna bonk the big crystal sphere.
Okay.
I'm not full on attacking it, but I want to pseudo attack tap it with my axe to do my dispel magic thing, courtesy of MCDM.
Okay. So that is. Can you tell me exactly what's happening here?
So, sure. Let me see it. It is the War Mage
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
If I attack, I need a. So I bonus action charge it with energy because I have to do
Mhm.
that first.
Okay. Plenty of
and
energy in
then
the
if
room.
Yeah, I do a type of energy, some kind. And then if I hit a creature or object with the weapon that's charged that way, I can cast Dispel Magic on it.
Okay. All right, worth a shot.
So, might as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just bonking the thing and seeing if I can disrupt it even a little bit with Dispel Magic.
Sure.
Hopefully.
All right, and you're hitting him with it, right?
No, I'm touching the crystal.
Okay. Okay.
The
Sorry.
center.
I just want to make sure. So you're touching the Umbral gem. Okay.
The central big one, not any of the little battery ones. The central one to see if I can like even temporarily shut it off or something.
When you do cast spells, what's your spellcasting ability modifier?
Unfortunately for this one, it says it has to be intelligence.
Okay. Can you make me a DC 19 Arcana check?
Oh boy.
I believe in
Okay.
you.
Do we have a? No, I'm not gonna waste it on this.
You do
I'm gonna
have
use my-
a wild.
No, I'll use my Tides of Chaos
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right.
to give myself advantage.
Sounds good.
Of course.
And then the next time
Beautiful.
you cast a spell other than this one, that's
Oh,
when we roll,
boy.
right?
Anyway, it's single digit. Yeah, yep.
Okay. All right. So you charge up the energy. I'm not going to roll on this one. You charge up the energy
Yeah.
into the axe, and you just kind of bring it down very dramatically, like, and like it just kind of plinks off of the. There's just like a little. It just kind of the energy from the axe just kind of dissipates, and you just hear like a plink. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. And then I'll just
It has to be. There has to be drama, right, of some kind. It's
Yeah.
like the final fight. Gotta have a little bit of drama.
I'm going to. That was an action and bonus.
But I will give you DM inspiration though for making an attempt. I'll give you DM inspiration for making an attempt on the Umbral Eye.
And then I'll just run on back over here.
Okay. Alrighty. Is that it for Clem?
I guess so.
Okay. End of your turn. He is going to try and grab Simeon by the throat again. Though actually, do I want to use that? Is that a cantrip? No, that's something different entirely. Let's do... No, he's just gonna flick his wrist and sort of sends this projection of sort of a skeletal hand kind of comes screeching in your direction as he just kind of holds it out, and he's going to... Actually, that is technically arranged, so he is going to use the actual withering touch instead. So 24 to hit against Simeon.
24 hits.
A 5 necrotic. And sort of that same energy, but you just kind of feel your life force seeping from you as he just kind of slams you in the chest, and you feel that energy draining from you as sort of like this greenish, brackish energy just drains your essence. But that's it for his legendary actions for this turn. He's used 3, so he's fresh out.
Thank God.
That is going to bring us back to Abigail. Or bring us to Abigail for the first time, so... All right.
Yep, I'm just gonna do exactly what I was gonna do. And I'm gonna fly over to the Ombre.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fly over top of my friend here. And I'm gonna reach down to the little pedestal. And I'm going to dump 5 whole sorcery points, which is equivalent to sacrificing a 3rd level spell slot into the pool.
Okay. All
Kind
right.
of trying to tap into my divine soul essence of a sorcerer.
Can you roll a D100 for me?
Yeah. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna give
I'm
you.
hard.
I'm gonna give you a 20. I'm gonna give you a 20% chance. So 20 or under. To activate something unique here. So show me an under 20 roll. This might be something special given your intention here.
Can I use DM inspiration on this?
If you have it, you absolutely can.
Okay, because I rolled a 70, and that's very much the opposite of what
Yeah,
we
way
need.
way far in the opposite direction.
Where? There it is. Show me 10. Oh my god. That's a 10.
Did you roll a 10?
Noise.
I did!
Oh no! Okay. All right. Let's hold on. I was okay.
I asked and I guess I received.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, uncheck your DM inspo and oh no. Okay. All right.
Well, that's terrifying. What did I do?
You booped it.
Yeah, you booped it. I mean, you
I
kind of
booped it
did.
too, but it,
Yeah, you did
I
what I
didn't
was
boop it hard
expecting
enough,
it to.
apparently.
this might change the whole canon of everything.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Whoops.
boy.
All right. So using your DM inspiration to roll
Mhm.
under, as you dump your sorcery points into this soul gem, you have a moment where you almost feel like you've lost something, right? To quote Baldur's Gate 3. Hold on, there we go, cameras. Okay. Something inside of you just, and a tarot card. Okay. Something inside of you just sinks. You feel this emptiness and this sorrow. And in your mind, everyone in this room has a moment where, just for a brief second, you all blink collectively. The lights flicker out in the midst of combat. Malkath is swinging the blade. You can see blood and combat in sweat and spittle flying as the fight between Terra's punches almost kind of slows down. Simeon's rapier and the thrust and the riposts, the cloud kill, Thamus trying to channel the energy, the spirit guardians, everything slows, and for a moment all goes dark. And you just see a flash in the orb before you as time moves normally for you, Abigail. This angelic golden figure appearing before you, just descending as it has in your visions so many times before in the past. This glorious idea in your mind, but your heart sinks as the form of angelic feathers and this golden visage slowly melts away. The golden rays of light and the sky and sun around it turns to a black eclipse. The golden feathers melt away, and these massive skeletal wings remain. The background of Abertoril fades into shadow, and below you the ground almost writhes with energy and potential. The ground below your feet is moving. The umbral gems flicker, and all of you, just for a moment, can feel your heart in your throats as something is not right. Something here is happening. Something terrifying. Something ancient. Something old. And a little piece of yourself, Abigail, is lost within that gem. But you feel yourself empowered. You feel yourself in that moment in a panic, sweating this new power, and then you just feel sort of this scaled hand and this long, darkened fingernail just under the tip of your chin. lift your chin up, and these skeletal wings now drip with blackened viscera. And you can see this palish green, almost oily visage before you, this divine feminine figure, this impossible entity. Sort of long strands of hair are now almost sort of like tentacled tendrils that come down and writhe like serpents. And this horrifying and beautiful figure, eyes now glowing with this sort of purple shadow flame, locks your eyes with hers. And she says, "You," a voice echoing through your heart, deafening, maddening, in 1,000 languages, but one that you can understand. "My disciple." And the lights flicker on again, and the matron falls forward, stumbling down to the ground just as the shield just dissipates for a second. Matron Aunrei looks up confused, turns back towards this gem here, which now cracks and fades, and the tower begins to rumble. This central umbral gem begins to glow with this purple shadow flame light. And Malkath just looks around confused, and she just looks at you and says, "Have you done?" I'm gonna have her roll initiative, but the barrier has been weakened temporarily, and this aura is gonna change now. Gonna change color, and I'm gonna have Aunrei roll initiative. Two tarot cards in the queue. So that is going to, wow, that is one. Oof. Let me just remind, let me just say this out loud. Abigail did something to the soul gem. It changed the soul gem and the aura around Malkath, and the entire tower now is bathed in this darkened, sort of dark purple light. The central gem, you can see now that the constellations in the center of the gem are different now. They're completely changed. That sort of starscape is entirely foreign.
Oops.
That's actually very exciting for me. 'Cause I've been looking for a way to integrate this character for so long in our stream versions of this game. Let me just go ahead and roll initiative with Aunrei now. But she is just like, "What have you done?" Oh boy, okay, and she is at a 5. She's actually going to get to go this turn. That's almost perfect. So, spells of 4th level or lower can now affect Malkath from inside or outside, and he can no longer drain energy from Matron Aunrei, who has now joined the fight. Give yourself that DM inspiration back, by the way. Anything else for Abigail?
I don't know. I kind of changed everything I did.
Okay, I'm inclined to call that an action.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with my bonus action now.
This is like what you did specifically with your specific character and your specific backstory hit on like 3 pages of notes that have not been used. Like, actually, who has the obelisk from Tilverton? The one that was picked up from the bottom of the sewers. Who has that? Rin gave it to someone, right?
If Rin had it, she gave it to me because I have that in my notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that, I think that's in my notes as Death Queen's opal.
Yes. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh,
Oh no, wait,
wisdom.
sorry, no, it's the obelisk, not the opal, because there's the gem and there's the obelisk. But Rin might have
I
given
don't
it to
know.
you.
I thought Rin said she did give it to me, but I don't have that. What I have in my notes is the opal, but that's probably something different.
Yes, that is something different.
All
That
right.
is definitely
I
something
thought-
you can call
I
on too.
thought Clem picked that up.
That might have picked up the obelisk.
Yeah, because that was the sewers, wasn't it? I thought Clem picked that up.
Yes, yep.
I was gonna say if Rin had it, I ended up with it, but if Clem had it, whatever.
Do you have the strange foreign obelisk? The
Maybe.
alien obelisk?
I have the totem of the Ocean Lord.
Okay, which was that was a definitely a tarot card thing.
I might, I guess. I don't have it in my inventory, so I don't remember if I ever got that.
I
I wonder
don't
if-
think Rin took it. I think the intention was to leave it with somebody.
Okay, because I don't remember her ever giving it to anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, my notes still say that Rin, Halfling Eloquence Bard, has a weird obelisk. That's
Oh!
the only note I have left.
No, you know what? She didn't. She kept it with her.
I think she kept her with her too.
Okay.
I'm actually inclined to believe that. I think she left things for. She gave everybody else everything else she left with the party, but that's the thing she kept.
So, interestingly enough, that obelisk now, and I can tie this into Margrave because I have Allura as a. Wait, was it Rin or Allura that has it? That had it.
Rin.
Ren.
Okay. All right. So that obelisk now, there's like a flash of like a pulse of energy, and as that moment happened, that obelisk that Rin had is now hovering and levitating above the center of the obelisk in this room, and you all immediately recognize it. It is glowing with all of the runes are completely lit up. They have ignited, and the energy in this room is sort of being siphoned now through this obelisk. And Malkath just kind of, what is this new devilry? What have you done? Same thing that the matron, echoing the matron, in a way also as confused. And all of you can hear sort of like increasingly maddening whispers coming from the center of the Shadow Tower now, from this obelisk. And also the floor seems to be shifting. So, that being said, let's go over to Junior, if that's all for Abigail.
Junior is very confused because what just happened.
It's a totally
Well,
different vibe in here.
I guess he'll get out of the cloud kill, and that's about it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna shimmy him over this way so he's not in the walls. All right.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I forgot.
That's-
That is in
That's
fact a wall.
okay. Yeah. How's over here? Do you want to move him anywhere more, or does that work for you?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so I can put him like over here, over there, or over here.
Well, I think he like would understand the general vibe is to help the matrons.
Okay. All right.
Although I don't know if I'm actually helping at this point because I did something weird. But he wants to help.
Okay. All right. Yeah, something weird indeed. And again, the floor is, it seems to be sort of moving. The stone that once was beneath your feet is kind of rapidly changing into this sort of, almost this sort of moist earth that seems wet and muddy, but is also slimy.
Hmm.
And that would bring it to Matron Onray, who, in her confusion, is because This also applies to... Ooh. The bonus action. This rune. Yeah, because that she doesn't have anymore. Boy. I think. All right, and they did use some of her spell slots. She has a lot. Free fire, flame. I always thought Blade Barrier was like a personal shield. Like it kind of acts as like a wall,
Yeah.
which is interesting. Like I always kind of like the idea of having it like swirl around you. But that would, she's gonna essentially just cast Spirit Guardians, having broken out of that. And actually, let's hit him with the nuke instead.
Just hit him with a do. Fine.
She is going to cast Moonbeam at 6th level.
That is quite nuclear.
She is going to just raise her hands to the sky, and you can see that the Shadow Tower is kind of resisting her will just a bit. You can see her straining, and the veins on her neck begin to bulge. She kind of raises her arms and just... And as she does, you can see that the starscape, the more familiar constellations, begin to sort of appear in the ceiling. And the sky above you, the stone just opens up entirely. Not slowly, just instantly. It sort of fades between the stone vaulted ceiling and the open sky. Just with her will, it just opens. And you can see the moon now. It appears to be full as she kind of summons this beam straight down on Malkath. He's going to make a DC 19 con save. Let's see. If he needs to use a legendary, he does. So he's going to burn one of his legendary resistances to succeed. But that's still going to be... Yep, that will bring us to 27, 37, 37, 43. As this moonbeams kind of descends from the sky, Malkath lets out a scream. It sort of pierces through the barrier, right, being a higher level spell. And you can see his flesh begin to melt. And he lets out this ethereal scream that sort of echoes through the chamber. But as he does, you can see for a moment, it looks as if your foe has been vanquished. But that scream kind of turns into an exasperated as you can see him kind of just raise what seems to be a skeletal frame now, and kind of holds out both hands and then kind of combines them together just and points them over in the direction of Matron Zulray, who lets out a shriek. And I gotta do, I'm not bad at math. 66 plus 30. What's 66 plus 31? 96,
97.
97.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 9
9.
because it sounds bad.
plus
so it's less.
97. And you can see that as the moonbeam fades, Matron Zulray seems to appear sickly, withered, as if her essence has been drained from her, and this scream pierces the very fabric of your souls as Malkath's flesh slowly begins to be restored to this skeletal frame as it returns to him, except he is now scarred by this. You can see that there are sort of like blackened veins sort of running through his face and down the exposed parts of his wrists and arms as he just, and as he's kind of panting for breath, his voice is kind of distorted, and he looks up at the obelisk and just looks confused, but is still sort of only half surprised. And that sort of distorted voice was only as expected. And just kind of grins at you. And just, as you can see, sort of from his back, this sort of tentacled appendage just bursts out of his shoulder. And it has sort of like teeth on the end of it. And it's sort of like moving independently and sort of screeching as he lets out this sort of bone-chilling scream of his own. The matron just kind of takes a step back, confused, before it comes over to Thamus. Thamus, there is something terribly wrong happening here on many accounts.
If this thing came near me, the spirit guardians would activate, and it would take damage.
Nothing hostile has moved over in your direction yet, but it is your turn. You can see though that the ground beneath your feet is smoldering, where the stone has sort of changed and is now sort of like this blackened, moist, writhing, almost like earth and earthworms, but it's all sort of like covered in like oily tar. It's burning though beneath your feet. It's sort of like burning away, and below you, where your spirit guardians is active, you can actually see the stonework.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move out of the poison cloud, but two, I'm going to get up to where everyone else is.
And also with one of these tarot cards, with the also Hydrator dice rate, please. We have 2 tarot cards. This one is going to be from, we got one from Jeff and one from Isabitz. This one is the one I believe from Isabitz. So this is the Mystic, and it's sort of an advantage or insight into something arcana that is happening. And I will say, based on the book you've read, you're all kind of getting the vibe that Malkath not only has the ability to sort of empower this shield that he has on him, this globe of invulnerability, but apparently he can also heal himself using the essence of the matrons in different ways. So that is something that is most definitely happening. And there is also another tarot card here that is the Artificer, and I'm going to give you some tech knowledge with that. So again, the Mystic, and then this is the Artificer. So we don't have an Artificer in the party. So it's going to be, I think, some more technical knowledge. These, to get that shield down even more, you can totally smash these. If you have a magical bludgeoning weapon, you can disrupt each of these gems fairly easily. However, you'll have to smash each one to disrupt a level of spells that can affect his globe of invulnerability. And y'all might want to work on freeing the Matron Zulray, because she just lost about half of her health.
Where is... Okay.
She's all the way up top.
Unfortunate... Yeah. Wait a minute. Ooh. I have an idea.
Okay, all right.
One, I moved up a little bit. I moved up some. I don't know how much further I can move, but...
Queen's Gate Chronicles, thank you for the raid. You came at the perfect time. This is interesting here. We've got some strange happenings here. Thank you for all the follows. I'll give y'all a shout out. How was your stream? Let's see what y'all were playing. What do we got here? Queen's Gate Chronicles. Thank y'all so much. I'll make sure that I am following y'all.
That might
This is going to open in Microsoft Edge, though, unfortunately, because it always does that. I don't know why, no matter what computer I'm on.
Damn it.
Edge always likes to open if I'm using Windows. Like, don't do that. I'll make sure I'm following y'all.
Okay.
Let's see.
Um.
I am now. All right.
All right. We'll say one. How far away am I from that?
From the center of the gem, you're 5 feet away. But just for all of our new people that are coming in, and then we'll give Thamus the floor entirely. We are fighting Malkath the Vile, who has commandeered the power of the matrons of Shadowdale and House Dhuurniv. However, Abigail has activated the secret that was discussed in private off-stream as part of her backstory that is now activating through a divine intervention roll, and some sort of far realm corruption has now taken hold in the tower and is totally changing things up. Thamus, I'm so sorry. Thank you. You have the floor entirely. Ange, go ahead.
All right. One, moving forward.
Okay.
Moving forward, the range on the Spirit Guardians would be 15 feet from me.
Yep.
So would that mean that would affect our lovely villain?
That is a 3rd level. You cast it at 3rd level, right?
I just kind of got it. That was my boon.
Okay. Right. So that is, I believe that is a default 3rd level spell. So unfortunately, without disrupting, now it doesn't go away or anything like that. You just kind of have it up. So
Right.
it, unfortunately, you can see that your Winter Wolf companions, like your spiritual guardians here, are sort of clashing against this shield that's still sparking with, now the lightning is more like sort of purple. Your spiritual guardians are under level 4, and you've only disrupted 1 level of his shield, so he still has the shield. The spirit guardians will not affect him yet. You can see them kind of like dissipating as they sort of hit his own shield and kind of just fade into dust, or fade into sort of a smoke cloud, and then reappear on the opposite side as they kind of spin and move around in combat formation, these spirits.
And then about the only other thing I've got.
But that was, you already had that cast, so that wasn't your action. That was just there.
No,
yeah. So
that was just I moved in range.
yes. Yep. You are also clearing the corruption off of the tile with your spirit guardian, so you're kind of like forming a path, almost like Power Wash Simulator. This divine, thank you for getting my Power Wash Simulator reference. It's kind of like scouring the stone and kind of cleansing some of this corruption here. At least the more sort of like the layer effects that are happening here.
Okay, checking range on. Okay. Ooh, you are exactly 30 feet from me in this spot. Would Sanctuary help out Matron Zulray?
Ooh, it might. It might. Let me see. What a creature living until the spell creature. Yes. Yes, it would.
In that case, casting that as a bonus action.
Oh, that is the best use of a bonus action for that spell I've ever seen. Go ahead and give yourself DM inspiration, unless you already have it.
Cool.
All right, and I'm gonna give her a little golden aura as you. What does it look like when you cast Sanctuary? Kind of describe this to us.
Thing.
Got a little aura over there too.
Thamus raises her hands in that, raises her shield, because hammer's in one hand, shield's in the other, and you just see the golden holy aura as it goes.
Okay, so from the shield, you see this flash of brilliant golden light, and this sort of energy kind of bifurcates, just wraps around Matron Zulray, and you can see this sort of shimmering barrier of almost like sun rays kind of gleaming off of her. She struggles to, having been like almost drained of her life essence from Malkath's redeeming himself. So also, with those other tarot cards, keep in mind that your knowledge now, you all have the understanding, if you kill him again without warding one of the matrons, he's going to drain all of that essence, that damage that was done to him. He's going to pull it back from the matrons in full. if you don't find a way to disrupt everything that is going on. So there's some things you have to work with around here, but with those tarot cards, you're gonna get a little bit of meta knowledge from that. So posture check, Pixelated Bunny, thank you, and also Improv and RPG, thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you're digging it.
I think for my actual action, what I'm gonna do is heal myself a bit.
Not a bad idea. Amos is definitely taking a few magical hits.
Yep. So I'm gonna heal myself a bit, and then that's about what I got for this turn.
Okay, just let me know how much healing, and I'll add that to your roll 20.
10.
Okay, just like a flash of light as some of your energy from the cloud, your energy kind of returns to you, and you're able to just hack up this big couple of globules of spittle from the cloud kill. And the last of that corruption, it just kind of seared off of you from your radiant light, from your holy healing. And would that be it for Thamus?
That's gonna be it for this turn, because reactions can wait. Yeah, done.
Okay. All right, Malkath is going to sort of take a deep breath and inhale everything that's happening in the room. And let's see, what do I want to do here? A lot of different options.
As he's contemplating, Thamus is just gonna say to him, "You think you are redeemed. Think again. You have not earned that redemption."
Ooh, I like that. I'd give you DM inspiration twice, but let's
There's
see.
both a redemption paladin here.
He's gonna do. There's so many options.
Well,
I
that's
don't think
troubling.
it's down to that.
Let's do the big one. Okay. Okay. He is just going to chuckle to himself and just. I'm afraid this is where you die. And just kind of slap his chest as hard as he can and just, come on! And just kind of raise both, so it raises the sword and both hands in the air, and kind of grabs the sword and just begins to scream as the eyes begin to glow with this purple shadow flame. And that sort of energy begins to pulse out from the center of him. The entire room goes dark, and this nova of sort of this black cloud just, and inside of this black cloud are just the screaming, screeching souls of all the deceased that this necromancy is channeling. And the walls, the stone, your hair and skin all start to decay and burn and wither as he is going to cast, centered on him, a circle of death. And I need every single person in this room to make a Constitution saving throw, please. He rolled a lot of ones. Well, he rolled a 1, unfortunately, so.
All right. I'm DM inspirationing that.
Okay.
Because
You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay. All right.
that was a 2 on the die. We're not letting that
Monster.
stand.
Oh, never. Oh, okay.
All right. A dirty 20 is acceptable.
Oh wait, Thamus is
Okay.
in range.
So my first roll was a 2.
Ooh.
My second roll was a 1.
Oh no.
Yay!
So I got a 4 total. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Well, you still have it's not as much damage as I thought. It's only 22 necrotic.
Cool.
So
Okay.
it's up to y'all if you want to, but that would be for everybody. So you do have a wild oracle if you wanted to use the wild oracle.
What was the DC?
DC is. That's a good question. It usually says it. DC is 15.
Okay.
So, Clem, you succeed.
No, I don't. I got an 8.
You get an...
Ignore the advantages. I have an 8.
Okay, all right. So
Plus 3, you're close to
yep.
Thanos, aren't you? Oh no, you're not. Where are you?
No.
He's under me.
Oh,
I'm flying.
Oh, okay. I
What's-
was like, where did you go? He disappeared.
Also, by the way, our paladin should have 2 auras. We'll say the yellow one is for that is the 10-foot radius. Is that Spirit Guardians, or is the 10-foot radius your aura?
I believe the 10-foot radius is the aura.
Okay, Spirit
and then I
Guardians
think-
is
15, I
15.
think.
okay.
Yep.
We'll do like silvery. The Winter Wolves. There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Aura
all right.
of the aura
My
of
God,
the
so many circles.
aura of protection is 10 feet.
Okay, so that sort of shimmering
Oh,
circle will represent the Winter Wolves, sort of the Spirit Guardians there. So that is going to be sort of centered from, so it's going to come out from him as the center point. He will be unaffected by that. So Clem failed. So Clem, 22 points of necrotic damage. Thamus, 22 points of necrotic damage. Simeon,
I passed mine.
I see a 9, but that might be
Yeah,
something
and then I re-rolled, and then I
a
re-rolled it.
20. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 11 points of necrotic damage for Thamus. Simeon, 11 points of damage. Abigail, 11 points of necrotic damage. Junior, 11 points of necrotic damage.
And you know what?
Simeon,
Now's
11
a
points.
good time for channel divinity.
Yes, you get necrotic damage. You get necrotic damage. You get necrotic.
And where to go? You know what? I'm gonna channel divinity react.
All right.
He can make me a wisdom saving throw.
All right. He's got 2 legendary resistances left, so
Okay.
he's going to
damn
use it to succeed. So he's
Gross.
got, but you can see as sort of that light in your shield, because that's like your spellcasting focus. So.
And that said, on a
Okay.
failure,
Mm-hmm.
he takes on a failed save. He takes he takes radiant damage equal to the damage it just dealt, or half damage on a success.
Okay, so he dealt 22 necrotic, so he's going to take 11 as radiant, if I understand that correctly. Now, however, he did use one of his legendary resistances to succeed, so he's only got 1 left. You burned 2 of them so far.
You know what? Worth it for that.
That's almost like a guaranteed burn for a legendary resistance if you can get it. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a respectable move right there. So that energy, some of it kind of almost coalesces around your shield as it's kind of almost like a magnet effect, and then this brilliant radiant light, this burst of sun, just this sunburst. Redundancies in words, my apologies. This sunburst of light from your shield just sort of emanates and forms a beam. It's what coalesces and fires right back into his chest as he and kind of gets knocked off balance there momentarily as this beam of light slams into him for 11 radiant damage. Okay, very nice. And a burned legendary resistance. So well done and well played. Okay, so that is, I think that was your, I believe. Okay, so that is Circle of Death. And that was a one-time thing. That energy like dissipates after it's done. It's just this nova cloud. And that would bring us to Simeon.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, the other power that I get from doing the skirmisher power isn't very useful in this situation. It lets me go zoom. it grants me like a bonus of like 5 times the power die as my speed, but I have nothing to do with it at this point. So I guess I'll just do one quick lap and then come back and hit him again.
Okay.
Because it also doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
You got it.
So I'll go ahead and just get my 2 attacks in on him.
Okay.
Terra is still behind me, so I am still flanking, so I think this is it. Oh, I'm going to use my DM Inspiration to get advantage on this one, by the way.
Remember that the sacrifices here in the Shadow Tower have so far been extreme. So there is still sort of a sacrifice of shadow and darkness and a sacrifice of blood that was partially satisfied, but not entirely. I'm keeping a counter of things in the background. So that is a
Total of 16.
Okay. It just kind of sort of bends, your rapier bends against those sort of reinforced chains. You kind of reset. Same thing, just kind
11.
of off the side of the armor.
Well, I'm failing miserably today. That's my turn.
Okay. He is
Although,
going. Yes.
I will give Terra a bonus action
Okay.
to move, or sorry, as a bonus action, I will give Terra the ability to move half her movement without provoking if she so desires.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I would like that.
It is my tactical martial power.
Shouting out orders and battle strategies. Love it. Love to see it. Okay.
And
Featuring
no, I'm done.
MCDM Kingdoms in Warfare. All right. Thank you. End of your turn. He's going to swing the sword down at Simeon. That is a 19 to hit.
19 just beats.
Okay. Remember, are you still clutching the hand?
I am.
Okay. It's going to be 9 slashing plus 2 radiant.
Can I do anything about that?
Maybe.
Ow. Okay.
You know what? I'm going to. Nope. I'm not gonna do that because he's not within the range of that.
Okay. All right. And that's it for Simeon. Officially.
Officially.
Okay, right. And then he made his attack of his legendary action. Okay, Terra.
Okay. Tara is gonna do the half her movement without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
She is gonna run past him,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's gonna finish her movement and come over here.
Okay.
And she wants to do the blood sacrifice to
Okay.
try to release her.
Okay. What are you doing?
She has a dagger that she pulled out while she was running over there,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just gonna slash up her arm and offer a blood sacrifice.
Okay. What's the damage on your dagger?
1d4 plus 3.
Okay. Roll damage on that.
Alright.
What is your intention here, by the way? Is it just to empty as much as you can while still holding on? Or is it
Her
something
intention
different?
is if it takes all that she has left, because she is really low on health, if it takes all she has left to do this, she is willing to do that to help save them.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. You run over. You don't have to roll damage then. The rest of you watch as Terra just runs over to the matron, takes a dagger, runs it up the side of her arm, and opens up her left arm, and blood just pours onto. Do you just hold it over the orb behind her, that sort of amber orb?
Yeah.
And just kind of lets it drain on the orb. Kind of you stumble forward and just kind of grab onto Matron Zolrai, who is looking down at you just in shock, just like, you can, even though she's restrained, just like, what are you doing? And I'm just gonna move you just kind of like over here-ish, so you can kind of squeeze through. And that is I'm just gonna say enough to drop you unconscious, which I believe was your intention.
Mhm.
Okay, Terra is now unconscious on death saving throws, but as you empty the last bit of life force that you have left into this orb, you collapse onto the ground, and you kind of have your arm up on the orb. This orb behind you starts to glow, and as it does, there is just a flash of energy, this sort of this amber orb lets out this sort of crimson flash. And as it does, and you sort of fall unconscious to the ground, it starts to fade slowly. And you can see that the intention was received, and the bonds are weakening as the life force drains from you. The sacrifice has been made. I'm going to have her roll initiative. On her next turn, after this one, she will be freed. You didn't have a lot to give, but you gave all you had. So that flash of crimson, you have a feeling like that amber orb is no longer or it's only glowing faintly. It's fading very quickly. Not as fast as you would have liked, but your effect was intended. And you can see the matron, as you drift into unconsciousness, you can see her fingers for the first time be able to move and try to reach down for her dagger as that sort of energy that binds her begins to fade. Have her roll initiative.
All Tara can think of as she does this is Sori would be proud.
Yes. Okay. Now let she go. Okay. 15. Put her under Clem. All right. Clem. Tara's unconscious. Gonna put her off to the side there. But you can see that sort of pulse of crimson light. You see it too, Clem. You can see Zulray's hands being able to move as she kind of reaches down slowly to her daggers. That energy from this hold is fading. But in the meantime, Malkath at the end of... He's got 2 more left. One more sword strike on Simeon. The 15 to hit.
I moved away because I moved early, not because I didn't want to get hit.
Fair.
I promise.
He's gonna
15 misses.
Okay, so he's just a little bit distracted as to kind of seeing Tara just slowly drop down unconscious. You can see him just... And then surprised that you're actually willing to make these sacrifices, at the last second goes to swing and you already have him beat. You just are able to sidestep and parry just with your rapier off to the side as the blade kind of comes down, and you have that epic sword clash moment where his blade and your rapier just slide against each other and you form up again. He's only got, he's only got 1 legendary action left and 1 legendary resistance in general. So Clem, go ahead, you're up. So good. I thought for sure he was gonna get that hit. We're gonna have some problems, but
I'm gonna rush in, and I'm gonna use a quicken spell to bonus action cast Grease.
okay. And I'm gonna
I'm casting
roll
Grease.
on that table.
Roll on that table, and also he has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Does your spell go off first, or does the wild magic go off first?
Sure, do wild magic first. I don't care.
I'm gonna say your spell goes off first, just in fairness.
Let's see.
Might as well. And you said dex save?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if we can burn that last legendary resistance. Yes! You did it! That's 1 more down.
Cool.
He's back to 0. As you kind of come flying in, and he just kind of adjusts his footing and kind of does a thing where, like, you try to kind of step down to cast your spell. You kind of put a paw down and channel energy, and you do that thing where your legs kind of like step in between each other, like, and he's able to kind of reset his footing at the last second. But it takes all he has. You kind of check him to the side as you're channeling energies, but he's able to kind of reset and. That spell that you have is not entirely, but what are you casting? What are you doing? What spell was that again that you were doing?
Grease. So trying to make him
okay,
flip on his feet.
All right, but there is now a layer of grease that is sort of combining with that sort of, it melds into the slippery earth that the stones had turned into. That stone which has not been scoured clean by Thamus, at least.
Yeah,
and
it's Question: if I'm casting it inside his bubble, it's a 10-foot square. I want to have it underneath him, but also to the left and down. So like,
Okay.
you know.
Sure. Let's draw another circle. Do
Sure.
Grease. Can you ping it
Oh,
one more
let's
time for me,
circle.
please?
This will be the center of the 10-foot cube.
Okay. Right. Do lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, whoever. All right, Grease. Nice.
Scribbles for emphasis.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So there is some grease on the field now for sure. Actually, I'm curious. I wonder if someone actually did like a grease tile. There's got to be one here somewhere. Let's see. From the
Yeah.
web. There
But
is.
it is not concentration.
I really appreciate the scribbles, but I am a woman who likes her practical effects. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make that
Cool.
right there. Big grease puddle. Okay. There you go. Actual grease.
Cool.
Okay, just on the ground. Thank you for the temporary scribbles. It actually genuinely helped me to see where I needed to put that. So it definitely helped for sure. Thank you. All right, and thank you to
36
whoever
on the
made the
wild
grease puddle.
magic.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d10 for me, please. On
Okay.
on your wild magic surge.
Oh, I rolled a D100 for the 36, unless it needs a D10 for the effect.
It does need a d10 for the effect.
5.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And there is. How old is Clem?
Okay. He is a Fey bunny. I don't know. He's probably like 20-ish. I think I put him like 20s to 30s.
Okay.
What's his official age? I'll see the official age, but yeah.
Clem starts to almost sort of change, and the musculature it seems to get a bit less intense. And there is something about the Harangon before you that seems much more. However, your stamina seems to increase, and your vigor you're not quite as out of breath as you were kind of coming into this fight, as you were kind of hopping around and in the midst of combat, and your age decreases by 5 years.
I will say he's old enough to consent and still be with
Nazgûs?
Nazgûs is
Yeah.
still on the table.
Okay, all right, awesome.
At least you didn't change
So
colors this
valid.
time.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true. At
no
least you're not
colors.
blue. At least you're not blue. So you're.
He was 28. He's now like 23-ish.
That's okay. So yeah, your age decreases by 5 years. So nothing too
Great.
wild. All right, so that was
Guess I'll cast more.
Grease.
That was my bonus action.
Yep.
With his legendary resistance is gone.
Yes.
Can I petition to
Excuse me.
rush in? And I'm going to attempt to oil wrestle this guy.
right.
I'd like to do a reckless attack potentially to give myself advantage on my grapple.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So you run in and grapple, and he's going to use. Let's see, Dex or Strength. Let's do Strength.
So it is athletics, correct?
Yep, and he's also going to roll athletics. So show me athletics at advantage as you kind of just run in, greased up, and 16. Yeah, you got him. Yeah,
Nice.
By 1.
it's greasy. It's it's almost an enemies to lovers things if this guy wasn't so horrible, right? As these two masculine figures are wrestling in the grease in the center of the room, just kind of right. But you're able to kind of restrain him, and well, not restrained technically in D&D terms, but you're able to kind of grapple him, and I think, but he is grappled.
And
Back to
question,
grapple. Yes.
if I wanted to bring him prone, would it have to be like another thing? Probably next
Yes.
turn?
Yep. It's another
Okay.
action to
Throw
prone.
both of us on the ground.
Yep. A Magic the Gathering card just fell out of my.
Wizards trying to get you to spend more money.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Oh, that's where my full art Pugnacious Hammer Skull and my foil
Ooh.
Lannery Storm went. Okay. Very cool. Right. Prone. Right, grappled.
What are you looking for?
Grappled. Creature speed becomes 0.
Become
And
0.
That's
that's
yeah. It's pretty much just pretty much it.
yeah, but you can use another action or next turn to try to bring him prone. Right now, he still has free use of his arms, and he can still swing the sword. Which is exactly what he's going to do with his. So all of his legendary resistances are gone, but he still has a legendary action to use. So
That's fine. I'm trying to keep him here.
okay, all right. And is that it for Clem?
I guess so.
Okay. All right. And that will bring us to, all right, that's going to flicker a little bit more. And as we cycle through, he is going to use that last legendary action before we get to Abigail to try to swing one more time. Last one before his next turn, Moon Touch Longsword. That is 27. Oh, you're still up. That is a, if the 27 hits, that is, you can see as he's grappled, it's almost like a half strength attempt as Clem is desperately trying to hold his arms back, and he swings that Simeon and just kind of cuts you, just kind of slams the blade into your chest as you kind of take the hit, just cough up a little bit of blood. You take 6 slashing plus 2 radiant, so 8 damage total. I can see you're running very low there. So this is Simeon.
Oh, poop.
Yep.
Okay.
Is Simeon
Still
still
not
up there?
down though.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right, Abigail.
Wait.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Waiting.
Things happening.
Checking the wait.
Okay.
Let me check the range.
And
because
the question is, can you do that more than once per turn?
I have like a series of different reactions that
Fair
do
enough.
things,
Hell yeah.
but they all have different ranges, and I don't think Simeon's in range, but Clem is. You are not within 10 feet of me. Damn it. Nope.
I am not.
Okay. All right.
Nope.
I am
I've got.
15 feet away.
Yep. So I can't actually do anything about. I can't actually do anything about that.
All right, Abigail.
I don't know if anybody else has any better ideas than what I'm about to tell Junior.
It's the
'Cause-
Trial of Darkness and Shadows, the last one.
Yeah.
I'm sure Junior has a lot of darkness in their heart.
I mean, I was gonna go for the argument that, like, Junior is a creature of the Underdark, perpetually dark. So, well, first, I think I'm gonna do the smart thing, and I'm going to upcast Magic Missile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, it's spells right now of, well, actually,
Second and lower now?
third and lower.
Third and lower?
Oh,
Yep.
that's okay, because I'm not targeting him.
Okay.
I'm targeting the crystals.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Guaranteed hits on
upcasting
all
it.
4.
Yep. I am upcasting to second level, giving me 4 darts, so I'm hitting each one of them simultaneously.
Okay. All right.
And this thing's not covering any of them.
Yep.
Oh God, Lord.
Because of where he is, I have access to all of them.
That's really good. Okay. All right. Show me 4 magic missiles.
I believe it's a D4 plus 1 for magic missiles.
Yeah, for each one of them.
Yes. So
Okay. All right. So, all 4 of these begin to crack as it flickers. Do that one more time, you'll be getting pretty close. But you're on the right track.
I have another second level and a third. However, bonus action.
Okay.
Double check the
Hey.
range on this.
They do have a certain amount of like most objects, and the crystals do have a set amount of hit points or like strength, really.
Yeah, I figured he's. I don't have anything that can deal with him, so
No, that's really
action.
smart.
Terra, would you like to get back into this fight?
I mean, sure.
I
Okay.
will dump. How many of these can I dump into you? I will dump. Oh, maximum. Okay.
I was gonna do the same thing, so
Yeah, I was like, I'm just trying to figure out how many dice I can dump into you at once.
The amount of
yeah,
You're gonna
times
have spell slots and stuff for yourself, though, right? So if you take
Oh,
damage,
this-
you're still gonna.
This isn't a spell slot.
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no,
we
you're.
need our monk. We need our monk in the fight. Punchies.
I don't see anything about a minimum or a maximum I have here, so I'm just gonna dump all of them into you. Have some healing light for 14 HP that you heal.
Okay.
Nice.
Rather than pink or golden light, though, your beams of healing light are sort of like this dark pink, almost purple. And
Ooh.
as they... Terra, you have a moment where, as you're sort of coming to consciousness again, as you can feel yourself, there is this sense of nausea that sort of takes over momentarily, and you feel your
did I
wounds
just-
begin to close. And as they do, and your consciousness regains,
Discord just crashed.
Abigail, are you like hovering as well? I'll stand for a second.
I was hovering. I was still flying.
Okay. And Ange, when you get back, if you could throw that camera on, that would be awesome. So as you are... Let's see, hoping Ange gets back. As you are hovering, I'll say this, and then if Ange isn't back, we can go to break and real quick. And then we'll get back for the next part. But as you are hovering, Terra, you see kind of before you, sort of where Abigail was flying before with her wings. You now see in her place this, almost like behind her, not in her place, but behind her as like a silhouette, these outstretched skeletal wings and this sort of other figure with these long darkened fingernails and sort of that same sort of tentacled, almost like tentacly like serpentine hair, just kind of reaching out in unison with Abigail, kind of sealing your wounds. Okay, Ange is back, so we can take a quick break at the top of the turn order. But yeah, you're able to heal and you kind of get back up, and your disruption here is still in effect as well. But the matron is a heckin' concerned for sure. All right.
Did we win? As she
No, he's still there.
What?
comes to.
So
He's
my
still there,
internet
unfortunately.
my internet decided to cut out. What did I miss?
Abigail.
Creepy heels.
Yeah.
Creepy heels, indeed.
Creepy
Okay.
heels.
All right.
We don't have time to unpack all of that.
Creepy heels and a
Yes.
lot of description. That's enough.
And then with my free talkie action, I am going to tell Junior to help Grayana in the best way that he thinks possible.
Okay.
'Cause I'm
Okay.
allowing interpretation from the DM as going into Junior's turn. he would reach out and try and help Grayana in the way that he was instructed to.
Oh boy.
If it helps, the idea was like we were kind of saying before, he is a creature of the Underdark. Therefore, there is like some deep shadows that are in the Underdark. Do with that what you will.
Okay.
I fully give you my boy if you need him.
Okay. Are you... Is that it for Abigail then?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you communicate this to anyone?
The part that I just said to Junior?
Yep.
I'm yelling it, so they hear
Okay.
it.
Okay, good. Okay, so you do say it out loud.
Mhm.
All right, because this is going to be very important. Famous, you hear Abigail shout at Junior, "Help Matron Grayana however you see fit. Just help her." I want to be very clear that you hear that. 5,
Yep.
10, 15, 20. He shambles very quickly over to Famous. And you can hear with the rapport spores, he's only got about 6 seconds. And he just kind of comes in, and in your mind you hear, "In darkness, sight, beyond sight, sacrifice." Kind of like begins to like reach out those mushroom like appendages to your face.
Okay.
Do you allow him to do that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, as he does, in the midst of this, you just kind of turn and you submit to what he's trying to do. You resign yourself to whatever's about to happen. And you have that moment of connection where you just kind of say yes in your mind. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me so you don't pass out. I'll call it DC 15. The rest of you watch as Junior just kind of envelops Thamus, like just kind of wraps their tendrils around Thamus's eyes and cheeks and head. Thamus, you let out this pained, screeching roar, the worst pain you have ever felt in your entire life washes over you, and this pain scream just echoes through the chamber, and even Malkath gives pause in this moment as he kind of almost drops the blade and kind of looks over at you. You feel everything go dark as your eyes are turned to mushy pulp. And there is nothing but darkness before you. The pain in the matter of seconds is only temporary, however, as this sensation, this airy sensation of floating washes over you. And as you try to open what once was your eyes, the rest of you just kind of see the blood just draining down from Thamus's eye sockets where her eyes once were. Your eyes now closed, kind of just blood, your eyelids closed, blood dripping down. However, as the fade turns, you see like you have never seen before. You hear every footstep, every breath. Oh no, her Discord. That's what it was. That is really bad timing. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll give Ange, like, we'll say, because we don't have too much time, we'll say we'll make it like a quick 7. We'll come back at 12:15, and we'll pick up from there. So, and then I'll redo the description for her. So let's take 7-ish, and we'll come back at 12:15. So break time, y'all. We'll give Ange a second to fix Discord issues. Back at 12. 15 a.m. EST. And we'll go over break screen. All right, be back in 7, y'all. Two, one, and okay, welcome back. Thank you, Distal's Place, again for the raid. Y'all are awesome. Really good to see y'all. Thank you. Y'all are playing some Lethal Company. Big raid, big raid. Thank y'all for coming to hang out with us after Lethal Company. We are, this is a 5e X Kingdoms in Warfare, MCDM, X Zentarum homebrew, X Secrets of the Zentarum DM's Guild product. We are currently laying siege to, or preparing to lay siege to Shadowdale, but the Stormwatch is our Black Ops unit. They are the Special Forces, and they are fighting Malkath the Vile, the betrayer of House Dhuurniv, trying to free the Matrons from his clutches. So yeah, that's where we're at. But thank you, friends, for coming in to hang out with us. But in the meantime, there's like a series of trials here that they can use to sacrifices that they can use to offer to the orbs and the powers, the engine that is the Shadow Tower, to attempt to free the Matrons, which they have just done. So Clem as the Thamus as the Clem, you're good. You're just 5 years younger. Clem, as the blood sort of drips down as your eyes are closed, you can see Thamus's roar sort of echoing through the chamber, Thamus, as that sort of blood drips down your face and your fur. You have the ability to see like you have never seen before. You can hear every breath, every footstep, every moment as your traditional sight is removed from you. Your senses, with the help of the rapport spores from Junior, almost immediately take over. And a gift that was bestowed upon you by Junior also, you can feel yourself be something about this tower is lending itself to you. And standing on the cleansed stone tiles after your spirit guardians cleansed the corruption that had been brought forth from the offering that Abigail had poured into the soul gem, you feel this roiling shadow, this indescribable force just creep up in and around you. It's not sinister, it's the essence of House Dhuurniv. You can hear behind you and all around you the voices of all the previous members of House Dhuurniv, simultaneously and in a lifetime at the same time, encouraging you, granting you a gift. And as you let out one final epic roar, you can see perfectly the auras and outlines of each and every one of your companions. And Malkath, kind of like this moment, almost sort of akin to the end of the first Matrix movie, where Neo finally sees Agent Smith in code for the first time. That pain sort of fades thanks to Junior's rapport spores, and Junior kind of gives you like just a friendly pat on the back of encouragement. But as he does, you can see literally differently, and you can see Malkath's aura just kind of staring back at you. There's this green roiling essence, this writhing mass of tentacled corruption, of screaming, the shrieking dead, and this aura of hatred and malice just oozing out from within him, and that necromancy tying it all together. You do lose +2, 5 HP from that.
Okay.
That would bring you down to 41.
Yep.
of 74, but that pain has mostly subsided. And all of you are like, what the fuck? But as soon as that happens, almost immediately you hear this as Matron Grayana drops down, almost like a superhero landing, and kind of just slowly looks up towards Malkath. All of their weapons, by the way, have been dropped at their feet. She kind of slowly reaches down to grab her umbral bow. Roll initiative as well. And also, another one of his shield layers is fractured. Oh yeah, she's hurting. Maybe 8, but that was almost perfect timing because I think she's about to go next.
Yep.
So all 3 of the matrons have been released or are about to be released. From Junior to Grayana, she picks up the bow, Shadow Strike, and just lets one fly. As that bow kind of just pierces directly through him into his upper left shoulder, she kind of looks over and sort of you can see the shield beginning to fade as it sparks and it flickers. Now, spells of 2nd level or lower are the only spells that are immune, so you can hit him with anything 2nd level or lower, and if you fracture the rest of those gems, it goes away completely. You can hit him with anything. But he no longer has sort of source of energy to drain, although he thinks he still has Matron Zulray, thanks to the intentional or unintentional dramatic fall from Terra. But at the very least, you got him to think that he still has the Matron, so that's going to be it for her. And we're going to do some heals here, probably. Matron Onray takes both hands and begins to levitate once more. And as she does, she is going to begin to speak in Drowish. And this sacred prayer emanates from her. And the ceiling opens up once more to starlight. And you can almost see the stars rearranging before your eyes as you are all bathed in this starlight. And Terra, Simeon, Clem, Thamus, Junior, Abigail. Let me make sure it can be 6, otherwise it's not going to be Junior, unfortunately. Up to 6 creatures. It's all of them. Junior, Thamus, Clem, Abigail, Simeon, Terra. All of you heal for 13 points of radiant healing as you are bathed in starlight. As she kind of just ascends and begins to rise up to the top of the ceiling. And seeing this, he just kind of turns and, killing me won't make any difference. Which brings it back to Thamus, who now you have a direct line on him. He's like, you will still not defeat us. We will never be defeated by the likes of you.
Simeon, what's your max hit points?
62.
Okay. Is anyone else like that level of hurt?
Nope.
I'm about half healed. Like, I'm about half now, so.
Alright. I'm gonna come up here.
Smash.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Is the grease still there, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, we're gonna go around it and get to Simeon.
Okay, going around the grease. So that would be 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, absolutely.
Going around the grease, going to Simeon, and we're going to dump. You know what? 35 will not put you anywhere near max, right?
35 will bring me to within 10.
In that case, take 35. That's my action.
Okay.
And that's lay on hands.
So yeah, Thamus just kind of taps you kind of aggressively with the shield, but it's more like sort of a playful nudge, even though like or you know, like somebody gives you a friendly, like a love tap. You still feel it, like it's like a, but you kind of are. I'm trying to remember the line. It's just like taste the radiant healing or something. I don't know, but you're able to like that light kind of fills you, and you can feel the energy returning to you.
And then that's an action. That's an action. I don't actually have a lot of bonus actions. But I haven't already used. I think that's pretty much gonna be my turn.
Okay. All right. One of the
But
things.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. One of the things he can do on his turn is attempt to drain one of the vassals. So there's a couple of things, because there's still Sanctuary up, and he can still technically drain some because of the weird sort of half sacrifice thing with unconscious then being healed. There's some sort of strange skirting of magic that's going around there, but until the spell ends, any creature who targets it must make a wisdom saving throw. And a failed save, choose a new target. Okay, so he's going to make a wisdom saving throw. Going to attempt to drain Matron Zelray. So let's see. Wisdom saving throw. Fails. Has to choose a new target, which would be nothing. So he kind of extends a hand, and you can see him kind of trying to rip the energy, and that sort of sanctuary that is protecting Matron Zelray tries to like manipulate magic around it. You can see him just, oh, what damn you! Kind of slams the sword against the center of the umbral eye. Just says, no, as you can see, he is screaming with rage. There is vitriol. There is spittle flying from his mouth. All of his veins are bulging. His voice is cracking, and he's reaching out, trying to pull from the matron, and he can't do it. And he just kind of resets. Go ahead.
Darkness does not lead to redemption.
And let's see. We want to. Does anyone have? I don't know if you can. Does anyone have counterspell?
Nope.
Sadly, no.
I didn't think it was gonna be relevant anyways because of the whole counterspell affects a creature, and we couldn't affect them until like 2 turns ago with counterspell.
Ooh. I'm gonna do this again because this is actually for those of you who go way back here. He's gonna try something. Abigail, can you roll a D100 for me? Show me 33 or under.
Okay. 33 or under. Well, hey, it worked so well last time. Show me 10. No, that's a 50.
Would you like to use your Wild Oracle to re-roll that?
Sure.
Okay.
Unless somebody else wants it.
I'm committed because right now he's casting a spell that looks like a door.
Oh,
Oh, bloody hell.
bastard man.
And
You wanna
that's
use it?
not something I can react to.
That's 40.
Heck roller saving throw. I can't
You also
help.
have a DM inspiration.
I do.
Otherwise, he's gonna run.
What happened to being so confident?
We let the matrons out. He's
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
away from mommy.
He's running away like,
Well,
bitch. Fine.
I mean,
You know what?
I do I do have him grappled still, so he can't run.
No,
Right.
he's just gonna dimension door or
Yeah.
gate.
He can take me with him.
So
If
so
only.
if you
I'll
used
I'll commit the DM inspiration.
okay, all right.
Damn it.
Fucking show me 10, goddammit! Well, it's not a 10, but it's a 20.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I didn't even have to give you a DM boop. Perfect. Okay. Cool.
So
All right.
10 on the first one, 20 on the second one,
Yeah.
which means the next one's gonna be a 30.
Okay. Right. So, okay. Wild Oracle used. He is as he's grappled, and he's trying to break free. Rather than break free, he just kind of forms this. You can see this door, kind of like Full Metal Alchemist, kind of being like formed below your feet. Just this like purple shadow, and as like it starts to fade, you can see it kind of opens up beneath his feet, and you can see down to the bottom of the tower, just through like this sheen there that kind of leads down. You can see this mass of troops running up to the top of the tower. Hundreds of them. They're about to swarm you. You can close the doors and bar them on this level, but they are flooding up the stairs, and he's about to go down there. This is Red Plume. Elite veterans are swarming up the tower. That is one benefit of him opening Dimension Door. And as he kind of looks up and just drops, you kind of slip through the arms almost momentarily as he tries to drop, and you see him just kind of slide down as he looks up with hatred in his eyes. But at the last second, as he's falling, this look of pure hate and spite and malice in his eyes. And Clem, you kind of reach out and you're like, what the fuck? Get to try and grab him and maintain your grapple in this grease. He looks up and he looks terrified as you can see just above you, Abigail taking quick action. You act without even thinking, and you just kind of fly to the center of the room and just reach. Almost instinctively, Abigail, you reach down, and shout out and a throwback to exactly when this happened in our Tomb of Annihilation campaign, which is taking place. It sort of is going to take place concurrently with a year after Stormwatch and concurrently with Halia's Harriers. So that one is still canon. So it's cool to like have an origin of this. You just kind of reach out with your mind, and all of you just see these sort of scaled tendrils, like a dozen of them, from behind Abigail, reach out down through the dimension door, grab onto Malkath, and slingshot him back up through the dimension door. The dimension door closes, the spell is broken, and he slams back down onto the floor in shock and horror. That is going to be it for his turn, and I'm so excited I got to use that again, but the rest of you are like, what the fuck just happened right now? And Abigail, you don't know what happened either. You reached out to try and bring him back, and holy shit. But however, it cost you your wild and your DM inspiration, but you used those fairly, and you gave everything you had again to this deity, this essence, and it proved you well. As it does, because this game is fucking wild, right? And it transcends reality sometimes. So there's like, but yeah, you're able to just kind of slingshot him back up through the dimension door. And he kind of slams down onto the ground prone. That would bring it to Simeon.
Prone, you say?
Yes, prone.
That means I get advantage.
You do.
Maybe I'll hit something.
Get him! Fight him! Beat him up!
Does a 25 hit him?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, 23 points of sneak attack, 7 points of piercing, 9 points from skirmisher, and 2d8 from my frost.
How do you want to do this?
So Abigail's, tentacles have sort of reached down and ripped him out and have thrown him back down again.
Mm-hmm.
And Simeon just sort of, reaches out, sword extends, and lands it. And with sort of the flash in his eyes, he just sort of grumbles to him. All things come to an end. You have not been redeemed, save through your blood. And then drives the sword through his chest.
Nice. Yeah, so as described and as said, he just kind of looks up, and before he can get out the fuck you, before he can even finish, you just take it. All that comes out is as you just take the blade and right down into the center of the chest, and he just spurts up, and you can see him just kind of look at you with this hatred, this pure rage as the life force drains from him, and he just, why do you bow? Hate us. Kind of looks over at the matrons as he just kind of like gives one last look for Grayana, who just kind of looks and then tries to look at Aunray, but stops moving as Zulray is released, and she just grabs her daggers. And in that moment, you can hear shouting from below as initiative fades. Go ahead and remove turns.
Bar the doors!
Yep, you can hear.
Can I do a thing?
Absolutely.
Considering we now have an army basically at our gates.
Yep.
I don't touch the obelisk.
Okay. All right. Abigail sort of flies over, grabs the obelisk. That corruption just fades from the floor, concentrates into the center of this obelisk, and lets out this pulse of energy. All of you are knocked prone. The doors slam shut, and you can see this obelisk in your hands. It kind of just begins to slowly just crumble to dust. But as it does, Abigail, your wings, once leathery, now bear that same sort of skeletal resemblance. They have spikes on the ends of them, and you have this shadow that sort of wraps around you like this aura, this dark shadow flame aura, almost like you're wreathed in flame. And your eyes have the shadow flame coming out of them, and you feel power like you have never felt before in your life. You're going to gain a warlock level of the Great Old One before leveling up, and you now have a patron, or a matron in this case, and you know her true name as well. You now are the herald and the champion of the Queen of Blades, the Queen of Ecstasy and Excess herself, the true name of the Far Realm Queen, once poised as an angel, true in its own way, now a champion of beautiful death and destruction, inside of you as her champion. Minogra, a name that echoes in every fiber of your being. There is a moment where you all can see Abigail just sort of wreathed in this shadow flame, this power, before you can hear footsteps coming up the bottom of the steps. I'm going to assume you spark up some Eldritch Blasts, get ready to go. Some shadow flame in each hand. Somebody's, I'm assuming, gonna go bar the door? After you all kind of get up from that pulse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So kind of collectively, Abigail, her new power by your side, it's kind of like an, okay. Kind of all attention and eyes turn towards the door. You all rush over to bar the gate from the other side, which is on the opposite end here. So sort of around the corner. As you all kind of pick yourselves up from being prone. the matrons kind of do the same as well. And as you all kind of rush to kind of bar the gates and get into position, you can hear, "Up to the top! Get the commander!" And sort of you can now feel this something heavy slam against the gates. And again, as you all kind of rush to help embrace Abigail with your newfound power, you are ready for them to come. You are ready for blood. The rest of you prepare, embrace, weakened by your assault, as the Red Plumes, the epitome of all things hatred and fascism and bigotry, knock down the door. Your enemy right outside, ready to do battle. An overwhelming force. You may be ready, but they have the numbers. And as they are slamming on the door and you are bracing, I'm gonna go ahead and change the music up here just for a moment. Go down to, it's a new one. Oh wow, perfect timing. See if it works. As the door begins to crack and buckle, you hear a sound in the distance. Followed by silence. Warhorn.
One of ours or one of theirs?
Silence. The sound of footsteps rushing in the opposite direction. Shouts of battle. Shouts of action. To the line! To the line! Again, in the distance. Matron Aunray waves her hand, and all of the stonework fades, the facade, and you can see now outside, cresting over the hill, an insurmountable, overwhelming force. A welcome sight. 12,000 soldiers cresting over the top of the hill, flying the banners of the black and gold. Another 2,500 cavalry. Their heavy footsteps just lining up in front of the line. Single blade raised. And distant screeches from the sky. A swarm of 24 distant specks. In the distance, echoing as they shriek through the sky. And the shouts of Bhur'Ithilen! Bhur'Ithilen! As you can see, the equally large force of innumerable tents begin to form up outside of the makeshift walls. War horns on both sides as the panicked Red Plumes now begin to form up their ranks as the well-rested, well-disciplined Zentalar forms over the horizon. And just on a hill behind them, cresting over, circling the troops, a distant roar that echoes the very foundations of the earth itself, the tower almost rumbling. The shape does not yet reveal itself, though some of you know. In the distance beyond the hills, just a flash of something large, maintaining their position behind. One final war horn as General Gareth Varkin begins to ride from one end of the line to the other, doing the Rohirrim sword against spear and blade, echoing down as you hear, kind of in unison, as General Gareth gallops to the front of the line. Beyond the roars of the distant dragon, beyond the thundering hoofsteps, beyond the march, you just hear one singular voice rise above the rest. General Gareth Varkin. Just in the distance. Santa! And then you just hear one thunderous response. Santa! Oh! That sort of rumbles the earth. The Red Plumes, kind of in shock, just take a step back. And there is silence atop the tower as you gaze down upon the battlefield. Battle of Shadowdale. It's begun. That's where we're going to end the session for the evening.
Oh, hells yes.
Oh. Wow. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. That is... Whew. All right. Down to the wire. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us on a Monday night. Thank you so much. We'll go in reverse order here, and this is what a session to end with the paragon of Minogra kind of like flying, sort of hovering above the rest, sort of newfound power attained. And you have a special synchronicity with the tower now, too, that only you can seem to connect with. In the meantime, let's go around the table and, Jeff. Hi. What you got going on between now and after our I think the next time we'll be back on camera, actually playing is going to be April 1st, but we are going to be doing some military drills. Essentially, we're going to be practicing the Kingdoms in Warfare rules and having a couple of session zeros for whomever has to fill these shoes. I'm not envious of whoever that is. Certainly big shoes to fill as far as the intensity and power of this character. So, but Jeff, what you got going on in between now and then?
I don't have a whole lot going on myself. Like I said at the top of the game, not doing a whole lot outside of this game itself, other than hanging out on the Discord and doing fun things out there.
All right, and of course, the Discord is right there, and you can check out Jeff's links. It's under Pathagan. Very good, and of course, the Killing Blow from Simeon. Very exciting stuff. And of course, then we have Nick. Hello again, Nick/Husky/Amberthist. What you got going on? Where can everybody else find you in between now and April 1st?
I mean, of course, always here every other Monday, but I think you're gonna announce
Tactics.
that. But other than that, I am on Precarious's channel every Friday with the Mr. Nakani campaign, playing chaotic halfling barbarian rogue. So he's always fun. Otherwise, on alternating Sundays on that same channel, I'm in the Chariot of the Gods alien RPG game, and that one's a lot of fun too. And yeah, got other stuff coming up in the future, but yeah, that's it for me for now.
All right. Thank you. And Ange, what you got going on?
Hello. Not a whole heck of a lot. As always, Sunday nights, Animazing Radio, and PAX East Anime Boston coming up here. And that's pretty much it for on-camera things.
All right. Right. Isabits. Hi.
Hello. I am here every other Monday as Tara, the Urchinasi monk, stone shark shifter. I am on Shadows of Nox every other Wednesday playing the Blue Power Ranger. You can also check out their YouTube. Season 2 of the Becoming Mighty Morphin Power Rangers podcast actual play is going to start being released every other Wednesday starting February 14th. I will also be there starting February 13th, 7 Central, until Sunday, every night until Sunday, streaming the Buffy the Vampire Slayer actual play that we recorded, where I am the witch, and that was a lot of fun. And then every Sunday you can catch me there running Call of Cthulhu.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Isabits. And check out all those streams. They're all very cool, and they're all very cool games. So send some love to all of our incredible players, really. But as we bid a fond farewell, oh my gosh, Dee, we will miss you so much, and I'm really sad now. That was such a good outro. Dee, what do you have going on? Where do you want to send everybody? Where can they find you? Any other future projects that you've got going on, or future endeavors that you want to share with the lovely people of the audience?
I might have some future endeavors that I will circle back around to you with once I have some more free time, which will be very few and far between. If folks that weren't here at the top of the session, I am leaving because master's programs are very, very intense, and my mental health is hanging on by a thread. And being in the mental health community and training to be a therapist, not a good idea to have your therapist hanging on by a thread. So
all right. And yeah, that is awesome. And we're all sending you the most positive vibes to finish that. I know you're in like the home stretch there in clinicals and all that stuff. So yeah, that's awesome. And we are certainly sad to see Abigail depart, but we're very happy for Dee. Right, so in the meantime, that was one of our big announcements. We are currently casting as well for our Dragon Age murder mystery RPG using Monster of the Week for some of the finer points of the mechanics, DM'd by Baba Yaga at Baba Yaga Creative. And there is also tomorrow for Into the Old Margrave. Trials, Tribulations, a trans femme pixie, and swamp ants. So I'm very excited about all of that stuff. So stay tuned tomorrow. It's a fun, whimsy episode. It's a nice, feel-good episode. A big change of pace from today, and of course, I'm very excited to introduce this pixie character named Jezebel. She's been there the whole time, but she just came out to the party. The joke is from Val. This pixie was not very good at jokes and was kind of projecting a little bit. So Val, one of our cast members, is like, "Oh my God, we and I can relate. But like we bullied this pixie until she turned trans." But like as a trans woman myself, I was like, "Wow, relatable!" Laugh cry emoji. But yes, I'm very excited to introduce Jezebel, this trans femme pixie, brought about by me feeling uncomfortable in some of these characters' NPC shoes, and I was like, I want to do this my own way. So check out that tomorrow. I'm very excited to share some new NPCs and some trans femme representation. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and raid and say hello to our friends over at Lost Caravan RPG before they close out for the evening. Lost Caravan RPG. You are going to want, if you're going to stick around for any raid, y'all, check out Lost Caravan. They are so good. And thank y'all so much in D. We love you. You're amazing. And can't wait to talk more D&D with you. Bye, everybody. Be queer, do crime. And listen, amplify, and if you use privilege to help others if you got it. And that's all. Good night, everybody. We love you. Bye. Raid. Did it work? It worked. Okay, see you next time, everybody. Thank you for watching.